family. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to y'all. Welcome back. Shout out to my YouTube family. Shout out to my Instagram family. Real Rumble, whatever platform you're joining on today. Shout out to y'all. I know it's been a while for some people on the live. For the people that are following me on all platforms, you've been able to catch me live sporadically, just popping on. I wanted to get on here real quick, but first thing first, because I know it's been a minute for one platform. If you don't know who I am, people, I go by Zabo103. I'm the dude that get on these live platforms and information that you would normally pay for if I knew what you're getting for free. It's really that simple. The only thing that I require you to do on my live is to think, what's up, family? Do some research and take some action. And the reason for that is because you have to live with whatever results you come up with. It is what it is, y'all. You can't blame nobody but yourself. In an effort to have some housekeeping rules, just while we're on this platform, what's up, family? Everybody's welcome. I'm only on here showing love, and this is a safe place. It is what it is. If you are one of those individuals that like to comment a lot of things, I might respond to your comment in a way to answer the question if I know the answer to it. If I don't, I'm not even going to touch it. But I won't be reading the questions out loud to all the platforms for the most part because I think that's what got me in trouble last time. We ain't doing that again, y'all. It's called the ultimate setup. So look, y'all, it's been, I don't know, 4 or 5 days now since I actually been live on all platforms. So, of course, there's been a lot of different things that have popped off. What's up, family? A lot of different things that have popped off since I've been, pretty much off live for the last 4 or 5 days. I did put an offer in on 26 acres of land. Shout out to that. Hopefully, we can get an answer. I thought we would get an answer yesterday, but we didn't get an answer yesterday just yet. I don't know if it's other people bidding on it. I'm not sure what the situation is at this point. I know we placed our offer and haven't heard back from our broker yet. So I'm hoping by Monday we'll get that offer accepted. So we can go ahead and move forward and add 26 more acres on to the rest of the land that we're compiling. Um, what else? It's so much stuff. It's kind of hard. What's up, family? It's kind of hard to go through all of it. And it's not even really that important, right? What is important is where are you at right now? What have you been working on? And this is not a question that you have to ask or answer out loud. This is something you need to answer to yourself. All the things since you've been getting on my live these last 92 weeks, right? That I've been going live. All these questions that I'm asking right now, telling you about myself, ask yourself these questions and just ask yourself, where are you at? Have you even started? Have you gotten to the place where you're just so afraid to get going that you're just stuck? Like what's really going on with you? Because remember, people, regardless of the things that I do and I accomplish, regardless of the things that you accomplish, the only people that it mattered to are the people that's getting the results. Period. I was one of those individuals that would tell people all the time, it's like, you know, I'm not gonna go out and pay for a coach myself. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt. I'm not the person that's gonna go out and buy a course. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt too. I just ain't gonna do it. Um, I I I've learned over time that don't none of this stuff really matter because they don't have the answers. They just don't. And that's the cold truth. It is a way for them to collect your money. And I ain't mad at them. It is what it is. I'm in the process of building out a course too. I said to myself, let me collect the money too. Since everybody want to give it away, let me just collect it. I'll go to the bank and collect it, but I'm also going to collect it the other way too. Feeling stuck, get that too. Juggling life, okay, I understand all that for sure. So the difference is, while I'm going through this process of building out this course, and I'm dead serious about building out this course, y'all. I'm really serious. Um, I said to myself, what would be beneficial to people to put in a course? Telling them step by step, sure, of the things that I did, sure, that will help. But I also thought maybe giving people the information directly where to go and where to continue to look, even after it's over. Because I think that's the problem that I see. Because it's not that necessarily that courses are necessarily bad. It is just normally just a whole bunch of stuff that you have to read, and people don't like to read. That realistically you just can't get through. And even when you do read it, trying to comprehend it, you you still looking for somebody to hold your hand and walk you through it. So I told the team that I want to build out something, and we're gonna build out something to where it can give people not only the step by step on how to do things, but it also can tell them, if this happened, look at this. If that happened, look at this. I understand that people got to start critically thinking, and I know that's a problem right now. And I understand that people are still going to be afraid. So I'm trying to figure out right now how to put things inside of this course that's going to help you overcome some fears too. It just is what it is, y'all. I get it. Trust me, I get that too. You 100% can, but don't put your whole check there, just simply because, again, it takes time before you can borrow against that money. You get it? So you can't put money up this month and then a few days later pull the money out. That's not how that works. It's just not how that works. The next thing I say is, it's like, I was listening to I know everybody heard that Jay-Z, when he made that statement, was like, they I don't know who it was that was saying to him, you heard the challenge that they were talking about people, would they take $500,000 or take lunch with Jay-Z? And Jay-Z was like, take the $500,000. Jay-Z said it. He said, why would you want lunch from me? I can't tell you more than what I already told you. I didn't gave it to you for $9.99. It ain't nothing else I could tell you different than that. And I know that that's where people are stuck at, because they believe there's something, even though when people give them everything that they need to get going, they get stuck thinking there got to be something else I'm missing. It got to be something else I'm missing. I can tell y'all firsthand, just me, for these last 92 weeks that I've been going live, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of the basic things that you need to get started, I've already shared. Probably 101 times. And that's the part where I'm like, some of this is just going to take you getting out of your own way. Even going back into my years of 20 years working at Bank of America as an executive without a college degree. Even telling you the inner workings of how you can be successful if you want to work a job. Even to how you can conduct business in a way operating in public and in private and no longer have to stress about the personal. And I know we got a lot of new people on here that may be lost a little bit because in their mind they think they know something different. And I'm here to tell you, if this is your first time on my live, let me ask the question. Put a me in the chat if it's your first time on my live. I just gotta see some because I see I'm on multiple platforms and I see people already giving a whole bunch of advice about things. And I'm saying to myself, the advice that they're giving realistically, I'm not mad at it. It might work for them, but it ain't close to what I'm talking about. Okay, we got a few people over there. Nobody there. Okay. All right, we got it. Okay, jeez. Got some new people out here. All right, bet. All right. So listen, y'all. Let me just give you a little bit of a back piece for my new people that are on here. All right. I go by Zabo 103. Again, I'm the dude that get on these live platforms and information you would normally pay for, I try to give it to you for free. I just require that you think, you research, you take action. If you look for somebody that got a whole bunch of credentials, y'all ain't got no credentials. I'm just a dude on the internet that figures some stuff out. That's the truth. I figured out how to get out of my rat race. I figured out how to get my bloodline out of the situation where they never have to work for nobody else ever in life. I hope y'all understand what I just said. You're not talking to somebody that's hustling for a weekend. I have a 7-day weekend every week all year. It just is what it is, y'all. But for those that say, well, you got, tell us some credentials. Y'all, I worked at Bank of America for 20 years as an executive without a college degree. I might know something. I don't know everything, but I might know something. I retired from the bank in my early 40s. I might know some of y'all. I retired my wife. Now, fellas, y'all don't know if y'all can relate with this, right? If you got a significant other. I made a couple $100,000 when I was at the bank. A year. I retired my wife first, and she made more money than I made on her job. Y'all know how hard it is to retire your old lady and she make more money than you? I might know some of y'all. I might know something. I retired my brother. How many of y'all with y'all jobs that y'all have or your business that you have, I get you retire your spouse. How many of y'all can say you retired your siblings? I retired my brother. I retired my sister. No, she loved her job. She liked being there, but the reality of it is the love of your job is not going to get you to the place where you need to be, y'all. That's the truth. We can act like it's something completely different, but that's not the truth. I started retiring. I retired a total of 25 of my family members. The job that you have currently today, the business that you have currently today, can you retire 25 of your family members? I'm listening. The course that you're about to buy, is it going to help you retire 25 other family members? I'm listening. These are the things that when I'm having these conversations on these live and I'm sharing different things and I hear people that give other inputs about other things, it's kind of a head scratcher because I'm saying to myself, you can't even retire yourself from your job until you get of age. That's the truth. So I sit back sometimes and I try to, and I don't want to get too hyper because I know I got a lot of energy. But I sit back sometime and I think to myself, if you got the answer, Sway, why are you not doing it? That's the truth. I realized that I was on to something when I was able to start seeing, like, how can I say this? Um, when I started seeing things that were right in front of me before, but I had never paid attention to it. You're talking about a person that didn't try almost any and everything you can think of, y'all. I tried everything but going to college because the math, every time I got ready to, I'm going to go and apply for college. I'm going to fill out this application. Every time I kept doing the math didn't math, y'all. It just didn't. It did not math to me. I could not see myself going and getting a $50,000 student loan, a $80,000 student loan. I just couldn't see it because in my mind I kept saying by the time I get out of school, this information gonna be outdated. And I know that's probably a bad way to think, y'all. And I'm telling you what I used to think. And then when I get out and I try to get a job, I can't even get a job making 60 grand a year. Well, I owe 80 grand in student loans. This math went mathing to me, y'all. But that's how my brain works. We have currently today 98 employees. I hope y'all understand what I just said. 98 employees. Why am I sharing this information? At some point, the light bulb's going to go off for you too. And you're going to understand at some point what you've been doing for your job, you could have been doing for yourself and generating 1,000% more for your last name. Nothing stops this stuff, y'all. I mean, absolutely nothing. Now, my family members, some of them that are up in age and they ain't want to do much of nothing. They don't do nothing. They really be chilling all day, every day. Some of my other family members, they sit back and they say to themselves, I got to do something. I just can't sit at home. So if they want to do something, guess what they do? We create businesses that benefits the family. Are your family members getting paid great salaries? I don't even know what a great salary is. Is my employees making great salary? What is a great salary? What is that called? Tell me. Tell me a number that's a great salary. Because I want to be able to, understand. Because what I think is a great salary, you might not think is a great salary. What you think is a great salary, 75? That's a great salary. A lot of my employees make six figures a year. A lot of them. But it's penny still, y'all. That's not a flex. If you make $100,000 a year, it's $11.41 an hour, and that's before taxes. All 9 businesses, for sure. That's $11.41 an hour, and that's before taxes, y'all. I hope y'all understand what I just said. But see, congrats. Let us know how it go, family. A lot of people won't begin to understand how this stuff really impacts you. That's true, family. It's definitely not what it used to be. Think of it this way. When I was at Bank of America, one of the things I used to tell my employees, and I was responsible for 459 people directly and indirectly. And there are people on my line that used to work at me at the bank. They'll tell you. I would have one-on-ones with them. And you know what I would tell them? You can't work for me forever. I need you to grow. I don't want nobody to work for me forever. The only people that are locked in with me forever is my bloodline. He was in Charlotte. Shout out to that. I was in Kennesaw. I came up to I didn't go to Charlotte. I went to Charlotte once, but I would go in and out of the Greensboro office. But I tell them all the time, y'all can't work for me forever. I don't want to see y'all like that. So what do? Even though they working for us, the bloodline, I teach them how to do what I'm talking to y'all about. I show them how they can get to a place where they no longer have bills. Ever. We gonna sit down. Hey, you got a one-on-one coming up with Z. Your one-on-one might be 2 hours. I'm gonna show you today how to operate in public and in private. I'm gonna show you how you no longer have bills. So you ain't gotta be in this conversation on social media talking about going 50-50 with nobody. It don't even make sense. It sounds slow. That's just me. No disrespect. And that's the part where I'm like, you can't even make this stuff up if you wanted to. But you got to think. You got to think big time. These are things that you got to start to wrap your brain around, y'all. It's bigger than me and you. The reality of it is you are a consumer. And you can't figure out how not to be a consumer. Your brain won't even allow you to digest what I just said. You are a consumer. Passive income? That's what they say, right? But what is passive income? You invest your money in a product that they're selling, right? What product is passive income where you don't have to do nothing? Maybe it's dividends from a stock. That's a product. Maybe it's a rental property. It's still not really passive, but okay, it's kind of semi-passive, right? Thank you, Lon. Think about these things, y'all. You're still investing in products. And I'm not mad at it, but I need you to understand that it's bigger than that. Imagine last year, I worked 57 hours for the full fiscal year of 2023 and generated 8 figures. This year, I've worked 0. And the target is hit 9 figures this year, y'all. And I've worked 0 hours. How passive is that? You have to stop putting your money into things, and I get the calculated risk that people make, the educated decisions you got to make. Well, I'm not that smart. I know I'm not the sharpest marble in the bag. There are things that I've done in my life, and I'm like, man, I can't believe you done that, but I can't unring that bell. It is what it is. We have payroll, we have all that, for sure. Got to. But think. You got to put your money into things that are going to get you what I like to call a guaranteed return on investment. That's just the truth. If you put your money into things that are guaranteed to sell and going to get you a guaranteed return on your investment, you can win. And you can stop trying to figure out all these extra hoops you got to jump through. Well, there ain't nothing on this planet that's going to give you a guaranteed return on investment. Land. It's the only thing on this planet that only goes up in value and don't go up and down. Plus, you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. What else are you doing that's going to get you this guaranteed return on investment? Appreciate your family. You put things in place for you to get in between that you know everybody on this planet got to have every day. What are things that people have to have? They don't have to have cryptocurrency. They don't have to have these box trucks. They don't have to have stock, y'all. They don't. Anything that all these products that we talking about, you do not have to have. There's only 4 things on this planet that you gotta have. And you can go some days without it, but you gotta have it. That's food, that's water, that's clothes, and a roof over your head. You can afford it. I'm gonna talk about how. Those 4 things you gotta have, people. That roof over your head is crazy, y'all. Why is that crazy? Now, I still don't know if this true. I've been digging through stuff and I'm looking at stuff and I'm like, yo, this is crazy to me. I can't find all the stuff I want. But they just passed a law that it's against the law for you to be homeless. You're getting locked up and they're giving you a fine. You can't afford to be homeless. Make this make sense to me. You say, now, internet, I like what you said with that. But watch this. And this is what's scary to me. Was that Friday morning? Yesterday morning, they had a big old internet outage. Y'all saw that, right? Or was it just me? Y'all saw that big old internet outage that they had? Put a 1 in the chat if y'all saw that. Just maybe I'm tripping. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all saw that whole big old outage thing. All right, so I ain't tripping. Okay. If you don't have internet, y'all, guess what you don't have access to? You don't have access to your cryptocurrency. You don't have access to your bank. Most of your jobs you don't have access to because your job operating off the internet. The grocery stores can shut down. Why? Because they can't afford to take your payment. It's all this stuff is electronic. If we no longer had the internet at all, of course, over time things will change and will adjust. But for that time frame that you don't have access to nothing, what are you gonna do? Imagine on Friday morning when I woke up, I was at one of the other properties Friday morning with a little bit of land behind it. Got up that morning, I ain't know it was an outage, y'all. Kids wanted some eggs, walked outside, grabbed some eggs, came back in the crib, cooked them some eggs, had some spinach going, some cheese. Got the water from the well. I want y'all to be clear when I say I got the water from the well, because you know you can't drink water everywhere. And you know your water is running off the internet too, right? All this stuff is powered. I hope y'all understand what I just said. Got the solar panels in the ground, the generators out there, the osmosis system for understand what I'm saying, y'all. The internet, it didn't make a difference to me whether it was up or not. Now, as the day went on and I saw that it was down, I was like, yo, this is crazy. I hopped on IG and I told my IG family, I did not know it was a big old outage like that. That's wild to me. But hey, look, I'm sitting that property sits on like 17 acres. The 41 and a half acres that we about to build on at the top of the year, it's going to be a lot more than what it is than the 17 and a half acres of land that we send them. I hope y'all just heard what I just said. Why am I sharing this? Because you got to think. The people that understand what I'm talking about, they already in position. They've been in position. The other people are the people that are talking about, I want to live in the city. And I said to myself a couple months ago, when Atlanta went without water for 5 days, these people still ain't got a clue, even though this stuff is in their face. I saw the mayor get on the news, the mayor of Atlanta, and he said flat out, these pipes ain't been worked on since 1917, over 100 years, and you drinking the water. Well, if I boil it, it's good. Well, I don't drink that water. I go get me some bottled water. Well, what water you cooking with? You not cooking with bottled water. What ice are you using other than the ice that's coming out your refrigerator using those same water? I wait, I'm listening. But nobody hears this stuff. People ain't paying attention because they think they know something different. And all I'm saying is, if an ignorant dude like me, a Grady baby, barely got a high school diploma, can figure this stuff out, y'all are educated folks. You got PhDs and all the letters behind your names. And I'm going to ask the same question. You talking about, I got a master's degree, but you don't know your master name. I'm going to leave that alone because I don't want to get in no trouble. Here's what I figured out, y'all. And I just shared this on so many lives, it don't even make sense. And I'm going to share it again. When I was at Bank of America, doing everything that the bank was telling me to do, what these wealthy people was telling me to do, what these gurus on social media were telling me to do, these coaches, these mentors, following these courses, y'all, I wasn't getting no results. And it could just been me. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm the only person that if you didn't got major results from a course, a mentor, or a coach that has changed your life to where you can make sure your bloodline have a head start for the rest of their life, put one in the chat. We're gonna talk about that, family. I got you. About to go there in a second. Put a one in the chat if a course didn't change your life. I already know the answer. There's so many courses upstairs in the library, so many books up there. None of that stuff changed my life, y'all. I have people hit me up. You got to read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It didn't change your life. You're still living paycheck to paycheck. You're still in between blessings. Don't be mad at me. You bought the product. You bought the product. Imagine that. Imagine that for a second. Imagine for a second, we bragging about the celebrities. We bragging about the ball players. We're bragging about whoever that we think got money and they getting a check from somebody. They just an employee too. They're just getting paid more for their time than you. But they still an employee. No, LeBron is not an employee. Well, who write his check? And he don't get it all at once. He get it on a pay period just like you. Am I wrong? Did I miss something? Imagine you make $100,000 a year and you ain't never had $100,000 at one time. Uh-oh. He got $100 million contract. He ain't never had $100 million at one time in his life. Uh-oh. How do I know that's true? Because when I walk inside of the bank and I get to the front door, there's a sign up there that says FDIC. What does that mean? They're only insuring up to $250,000 of your money. So if they only insuring up to $250,000 of your money, why would I put anything over $250,000 in the bank? The bank don't even keep their money in the bank. So why would I keep my money in the bank? Make that make sense. You think that's not real? Go look up the young lady at Silicon Valley Bank. She had $10 million in the bank. When Silicon Valley Bank went under, they gave her $250,000, and that was in the check, and gave her an IOU for the rest. When she asked when will I get the rest of my money, they said, we don't know when the next bank buys out. She said, when would that be? They said, we ain't got a clue. Imagine that. This is the reason. What's up, family? This is the reason why I say you got to think, you got to research, you got to take action. Because common sense ain't common no more. We know that. That's the truth. Let me give you a bigger example. We're going to talk about all that. Stay with me. I got you. Let me give you a big example. Imagine the day is Saturday. You happy because you off work, right? Tomorrow is Sunday, which is supposed to be your rest day, but you're not even going to be able to rest because you think about what you got to do for the rest of the week. You got to work for the rest of the week, right? Guess what you do when you get to work? You're going to get money from a customer. You're going to take that money that you get from a customer and you're going to give it to your job. And you're going to do it for 10 days. Every day you go into work, you're making money for your job, because the minute you stop making money for your job, you're going on performance management. And they're going to performance manage you out because they can't afford to keep you because your job ain't got no money. The only money that your job have is the money that you're giving to them. I hope y'all heard that. So for y'all good, clean folks that's making $100,000 a year, minimally you got to make $100,000 every 10 days. That's $10,000 a day, boys and girls. If you make $9,999.99 for those 20 days that you didn't work, every 10 days. So 20 days, that's 200 grand. If you are a penny short, you're going on performance management, y'all. So watch this. You make $100,000 a year. You giving your job $10,000 a day because you got to hit that standard. On that 10th day, you didn't gave your job $100,000. Your job is giving you $3,100 after taxes in a form of a direct deposit. And you happy about that direct deposit. That helped you get that free checking account. Uh-oh. You think the bank is a holding facility. I'm going to say that again because I don't think people understand what I just said. You think the bank is a holding facility. I know it's a lending institution. And there are people out there like me that understand the power of zero. So when you get paid on Friday, we got paid. Well, that don't make no sense. Well, let me explain how it works. Friday paycheck happy. What you are? You happy because you got money in the bank. What you doing with that money? Paying some bills? Going grocery shopping? You might go out and do a night out with your friends, your family, whoever. Maybe go on a little one-day vacation. I don't know. Whatever you do these days. Go get you a little sippy sip. Whatever. People out there like me that understand the power of zero, guess what we do, boys and girls? We go to the bank and ask for your money. And guess what the bank do? They lend it to us because they are a lending institution. That's not the scary part, boys and girls. Guess what we do with your money? We buy toilet paper. We buy soap, bottled water, forks, napkins, paper plates, pigs, chickens, cows, goat in bulk. and then turn right back around and sell it right back to you for 5 times what it's worth using your money. How you like your omelet? You went to Ruth Chris and got you a filet mignon wrapped in bacon? We appreciate you. What type of shirt you got on? We appreciate you. Them cell phone towers where you getting signals from? We appreciate you. Landowners, boys and girls. This stuff is bigger than what you ever could imagine, but you can't see the forest from the trees. You know how much money people pay to hunt? You know how much you get paid to have a solar panel farm on your land? Cell phone towers on your land? You know how much people pay to go hunt quail? Well, not in these flood zones. Florida's a flood zone, y'all. California's a flood zone, y'all. Hawaii is a flood zone, y'all. Turks and Caicos is a flood zone, y'all. Uh-oh. Think. This is how you gotta start. You gotta start paying attention. They made billions and trillions of dollars in flood zones, y'all. When the last time you been to Jamaica? Anytime you in the Caribbeans, y'all, you in the flood zone. Y'all do know this stuff, right? Or am I tripping? No, I might be tripping. I was that person at the bank trying to figure out, man, I gotta figure out how to do this. I gotta figure out how to do that. And then I started to realize I gotta stop listening to all this nonsense. Because ain't none of this stuff working. I played in the cryptocurrency world. I done had Bitcoin since it was $6,000. I get it, but I can't access my money. If I forget that password on my wallet, I can't even call customer service. The math ain't mathing, y'all. I used to have a rolling dumpster business. Imagine me rolling around like I was rock. Now, I'm telling my age a little bit. I'm rolling around like I'm rock with a rolling dumpster business. Had a bunch of them little dumpsters. I used to own a barbershop and can't cut hair. I didn't wholesale properties before. I didn't play with the apartment complex game before. I used to scalp tickets. Let me tell you, boys and girls, when Evan Ailey or Cats came to the Fox, getting paid, getting paid. At least I thought I was getting paid. Almost everything you can think of, I tried. So I said to myself, how can I get over this hump? Because I know how to get to the money. I need to start listening to people that know everything about money, entities that know everything about money. And as I was listening to these people and these entities that knew everything about money, I realized something. Why would the wealthy people, banks, gurus, why would they get rid of all their customers? Why would they tell you, us, how not to be a customer so they can't get our money no more? The math don't math. So then I said, I got to start doing what my kids do. My kids don't listen to what I say. Your kids don't listen to what you say. Ever. They do what you do. They'll repeat what you say, but they do what you do. So I said to myself, that's the answer. If I want to know everything about money, there's nobody on this planet that know more about money than the banks. Nobody. Not one person. But I'm not going to listen to what they say. That don't make no sense. Here's a free checking account if you got direct deposit. I'm going to do what the banks do. And before somebody talk about this, it's a Federal Reserve note. They put their money into gold, silver, precious metal, the blockchain. Stop it. You don't have a clue. Because if you did, why are you not doing it? It is what it is, y'all. I started doing what they do. Then I asked myself the other question. I said to myself, if I want to have wealth in my family for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of years, well, I got to stop looking at these people that ain't even had wealth in their family for 50 years. I got to stop looking at them. It don't even make sense. So every time somebody name their favorite celebrity or their favorite person that got a bag, I always ask the same question. Have they had wealth in their family for 100 years? If the answer is no, I ain't looking at them. Because I understand I got to do what the wealthy people do. The real wealthy folks. People that they had wealth in their family for hundreds and hundreds of years. What did that mean to me? I know I'm not going to get it 100% right on what they're doing. But if I get a percentage of it right, where would that put me? Y'all know when I tested it out? When I left Bank of America. And it was painful because the people at Bank of America, I'm not going to front y'all, they were like my family. I've been around them for 20 years. I spent more time with them than the people in my house. That's the truth. You spend more time at work with the people at work than the people in your house. That is the true definition of all money ain't good money. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a dude on the internet. I've been on this planet for 47 years, family. Think. I hope y'all picking this up. Okay. So as I was looking at these things and saying to myself, I said, wait, I'm responsible for 459 people directly and indirectly at this good old bank over the small business credit card side of Bank of America, the collection side of the house, boys and girls. We were responsible for generating $720 million a year. And we could miss that number, y'all. $60 million a month. All of our salaries combined weren't even $5 million a year. I hope y'all catching this stuff. So wait, I'm over here influencing the efforts of all these people to generate $720 million for somebody else's last name that I ain't never met. I don't know the owner of Bank of America. Do you? I ain't never met him. How am I fight harder for somebody else's last name who I haven't met and not my own? So I made a conscious decision that when I make my yearly salary in a month, I'm out. Because in my mind, I said to myself, if I do what I do for Bank of America for myself, even if I get it 50% right, that's an F in any school across this country. That's $360 million a year. So when I made my yearly salary in a month, I jumped off the porch because in my mind, I'm saying I can do my job for myself and get it 50% right. Boy, was I wrong. I was so wrong, it didn't make no sense. I couldn't believe how wrong I was. This how wrong I was, y'all. $720 million a year. I thought I was going to get it 50% right. That's $360 million a year. When I jumped off the porch, y'all, I got it 1% right. That's a fail. It generated me millions. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So what does that make me do? I just got to keep getting better. Every percent, it's game on. I hope y'all just picked up what I just gave you. What did I see that these banks were doing and these wealthy people was doing? It was two things, y'all. Two. And ironically enough, those two things were the exact same things. I couldn't believe it. I just couldn't. Those two things were policies and properties. I was like, how did I miss this? What's up, family? How did I miss it? And when I say properties, I'm not talking about rental properties, y'all. I'm talking about land. When I say policies, I'm not talking about IULs, y'all. I'm talking about whole life insurance policies. Why does that stuff make sense? Because this is not own your own bank or be your own bank or no velocity banking or no infinity bank. This ain't none of that crap. That's what I thought from the beginning. I was wrong about that too. Remember, these products are out here, y'all. It just is what it is. When I realized that whole life insurance policy, that I can get a huge whole life insurance policy as long as I'm healthy, right? The younger you are, the better you are, right? Because that's when you're most healthy, right? But I realized I can put money into that policy and get compound interest tax free that I can borrow against and pay myself back with interest. I was like, this is wild to me. Again, right at that moment, I'm thinking velocity banking, infinity banking. I'm becoming my own bank. That's what I was thinking. I still was wrong. When I started looking at this land and realizing that land is the only thing that I've seen on this planet that only goes up in value and don't go up and down, plus you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it, I couldn't believe it. Other things started to click because I started trying to figure out how I'm going to use this policy, how I'm going to use this land. Because in our mind, when we think about land, what do you think about? I got to build me a rental property. I got to get me a gas station. I need capital to build out here. Sure. Put a one in the chat if you heard your health is your wealth. I want to see something. If you've heard the saying, your health is your wealth, put a one in the chat. Okay. There's a bunch of folks that heard that. I ain't tripping. All right. We all here. Cool. If you've never been on my live before, if you've been on my live before, I want y'all to sit on your thumbs. I want you to sit on your thumbs for a minute. Congrats, family. Shout out to you. You did the work for sure. If you have been on my live before, I want you to sit on your thumbs. I don't want you to interact right now. For those that put a one in the chat and this is your first time on my live, did y'all know there's a sentence behind what I just said, your health is your wealth? If you do know that sentence that comes behind your health is your wealth, somebody type it in the chat if you've never been on my live before. If you've never been on my live before, type in the sentence that comes behind your health is your wealth. Because we done heard it a million times. I'm going to the gym. Yep, your health is your wealth. Man, I got to get rid of that dude right there because he ain't no good. Girl, you know your health is your wealth. Man, that chick didn't stress me out. Man, I'm happy you got rid of her, homeboy. You know your health is your wealth. Man, I just invested in me some a box truck. Man, that's right, bro. You know your health is your wealth, bro. You done messed it up. You done said it. Don't say it. She didn't say it over there. You said it on that platform. Nobody else say it. If you don't know it, say I don't know what it is. You close, Jimmy. The saying goes, your health is your wealth. The healthier you are, the bigger the insurance policy you can get. I want y'all to understand what I just said. I got a $10 million whole life insurance policy on myself. You know how many tests you got to go through to get a $10 million life insurance policy on yourself? I want y'all to think about what I just said. I'm talking about the biggest policy that you can afford. Now I know what people gonna say. Who can't afford? Can't nobody afford to spend $20,000, $30,000 a month for that amount of insurance policy? Yes, you can. Your job do it. You don't believe me? I'll show you. If you own a job right now, you work a 9 to 5. Y'all hear the whole statement. If you work a 9 to 5, I want you to put a 1 in the chat if you have medical, dental, and vision insurance on your job. Good benefits. Put a 1 in the chat if you got some good benefits on your job. I was that ignorant person at Bank of America saying, man, I can't leave Bank of America and do my own job. Bank of America give me some good benefits. Meanwhile, medical, dental, vision was coming out my pay period. My paycheck every pay period. Put a 2 in the chat if your job is this good. If your job gives you a free life insurance policy, put a 2 in the chat. It's a 2 for me. Bank of America gave me a $50,000 life insurance policy. I ain't have to pay for it. Watch this. There's a bunch of 2s out there. Oh, I want y'all to think about this for a second. When I left Bank of America, they ain't canceled that insurance policy. When I left Bank of America, they didn't cancel that insurance policy. When I was at the bank, they had 295,000 employees. 90% of the employees that were getting benefits, they had free life insurance policies. No, they won't let you. Think about what I just said. I couldn't believe it. So as soon as I left Bank of America, guess what I did, boys and girls? I called my broker because I had policies on myself, my wife, my kids. I want y'all to think. Think. Well, you put who you want your beneficiary to be on that policy. Put a 3 in the chat if you put the beneficiary that you want your money to go to when you leave this planet or that policy. Watch this. Put a 3 in the chat if you wrote in a beneficiary. A lot of people did. I wasn't the only one. Now, keep in mind, some of these companies give you what they call peasant insurance. That's a little bit different than what I'm talking about, but they do. They also give you, some of them, whole life insurance policies. Now, let me just, so I'll be transparent. They have up to 2 years to cancel it. After 2 years, they have to cancel it. Because when it's time for them to renew it and you ain't there no more, they can't renew it. I hope y'all just caught that. That's just me being transparent. Watch this. The light bulb went off. If Bank of America can pay for a life insurance policy for me, I got my beneficiary down there. When I called my broker, I asked my broker, hey, I know that my kids and my wife might not be as strong as me. So I don't want these policy beneficiary to be my wife and my kids. I want it to be one of my trusts. He said, okay, we can do that. I said, okay, cool. I said, how long is it going to take you to do that? He said, give me 2 minutes. Wait. How long is it going to take you to make this change that I'm asking? That's what I'm asking you, man. He said, I said, give me 2 minutes. It's going to take a couple of statements to come out before it changes on your thing, but it's going to be effective right now in about 2 minutes. You don't need to talk to my wife. You don't need to talk to my kids that's over the age of 16 to get consent. No. You the policy holder. Huh? Yeah, you the policy holder. You can borrow against it. You can do whatever you want with these policies. They're yours. They're just on them, but they're your policies. I couldn't believe it. It blew my mind. Then I said to him, now I know I'm paying for these right now, and I got my business stuff going. What happens if my job, because we offer 401k, we got benefits as well. We give them some insurance, the little peasant one. That's like $2-3 a month, if we're being honest. That's how much it costs my businesses. $2-3 a month to get you like a $25,000 policy. Uh-oh. What would happen since, me and my wife, we the big dogs on our business. What would happen if the business want to put a policy on their executives? He said, yeah, you can do that. Just talk to your CPA and make sure that, they do everything from the tax perspective. But yeah, that's a business expense. Wait a minute. You telling me I can spend $30,000, $40,000 a month on policies for myself and one for my wife? And it's a business expense? Make this make sense. I hope y'all just picked up what I put down. I hope y'all just wrapped y'all brain what I just said. You're paying for this stuff anyway, y'all. So as I'm looking at the banks and I'm looking at these wealthy people, I said to myself, policies and properties, I got to be on this. Jumped off the porch at Bank of America. And we had to make this stuff happen. One of the very first things, not the very first, we did a couple of things. But we started a toilet paper company called Triumph Tissue. Triumph Tissue, 3-ply toilet paper, 200 sheets is the closest thing you can get to wiping yourself with silk. But I ain't on here selling it to y'all. I sell it to the government. They pay better. We also started the process to build out a 52-home subdivision. We built 29 homes out my pocket. No bank. Out my pocket. So you can imagine clearing trees was a little bit of a struggle because I didn't know what I was doing. Some days I still don't know. Guess what we did with the trees? We ain't sell our trees, even though we could have. We paid somebody to come cut them trees, but we didn't give them away. Toilet paper, boys and girls, is made out of mixed wood pulp and virgin wood pulp. Trees, people. So as we clean these trees, we get it all mixed up to make our toilet paper. Then we start selling it to the government. You're not getting that out of a book. It ain't a course that's going to explain that to you. That comes from thinking, researching, and taking action. That's the difference. So as I'm looking at this situation, I'm saying to myself, how am I going to be able to get to a place where I can generate these things without even thinking? Because again, the goal for me is do what I did for Bank of America for myself. That's how I got around that 2-year learning curve when most businesses fail. That's how you're going to get around your learning curve when you start your business. Do what you do for your job, for yourself. You're doing 80% of the work right now. Hopefully you caught that. For those that don't know, I always share the story about my mom, God rest her soul. When I was 3 years old till I was probably like 16, my mom was on drugs. She got clean for the last 50 years of her life. She became a nurse. She got her own nursing home. One of the things that my mom said to me as a kid, and I will never forget it, I just can't. My mom said to me, in every problem, there's a profit. Back then, I didn't understand it. I know exactly what it means now. I get it completely. My pops, I got to know when I was 21 years old. My dad best friend, who don't look like me, I don't just want to call him wealthy because I don't think that does it justice. I just don't think it does it justice. I really don't. And I never forget going down. I was going down to South Georgia, and I went go holler at my pops, and my dad best friend was there. He was like, "Z man, what's up?" You know, and my dad's 73. I'm assuming, his best friend is like 74. And he says, "Z man, your dad told me you bought 3 acres." And I made a major mistake that I'll never make again in my life. I said to him, "Yeah, it ain't that much land. It's not like how y'all got a lot of land. It ain't like y'all got a lot of land. There ain't that much land." He looked at me like I was crazy. And he said to me, "It don't matter how much land you got. No matter how much land you got, it's always a lot of land. Because you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it." I ain't know what he was talking about. What's up, family? I ain't have a clue what he was talking about. I just thought it's like, okay, well, that's kind of catchy. I know what it means now. It was crazy then. It's crazier now. I asked this man flat out, "What is your net worth?" The dumbest question I could have asked anybody. You know how people say, "What is your net worth?" And they don't even know what net worth is. They think net worth is how much money you actually got. At least that's what I used to think. You know, your net worth is your, equity in your home, other assets that you have with, capital, land, whatever you got, right? That's your net worth. Imagine you using your equity in your house as a net worth and your credit score 500. You can't even access it. Make that make sense. Imagine somebody using a net worth of $2 million and they can go out right now and go get them a $2 million term life insurance policy and spend $50 a month for that term policy. I'm say 200. $200 a month for that term policy, and your net worth is instantly $2 million. The net worth don't mean that, y'all. When I asked this man this, you know what this man told me? He said, "I don't know what my net worth is." I'm like, "What do you mean you don't know what your net worth is?" Then I remember the wise man told me, "If you can count your money, you're broke." This man looked me dead in my eye and told me, "I don't know what my net worth is, but I've had wealth in my family for over 400 years. I couldn't process that. I couldn't process that at all. Up until maybe a few years ago, it finally clicked. That's why when I be on social media, people ask, "What's your net worth?" Man, I ain't got no money. Money not real. It's not a real thing. You only holding the money to give it to somebody else. But I can tell you, I've had wealth in my family for 4.5 years now. It's a drop in the bucket. Think. We're going to do a quick exercise because I want y'all to see this. So you know I'm not making this stuff up. And then I'm going to talk to y'all. I can't say exactly how you're going to do that. I can't say that. Let me say it this way. I'm going to give you an example of what I would do if I was in a certain situation. Watch this. If you got cash on you, dollar bill, $2 bill, I don't care, $5 bill, $10 bill, $20 bill, $50 bill, $100 bill, pull it out right now. I want to see something. Once you pull out some money, put a 4 in the chat. Once you have pulled out some cash, put a 4 in the chat. And I wish I had some cash on me. Ain't got no cash on me. Put a 4 in the chat once you pull out some money, because I want to see something. We got some 4s over here. I don't see no 4s over here yet. We got some no 4s over here yet. All right, bet. All right, we got some 4s. All right, we good. So for those of you that have put 4s down in the chat, okay, cool. I wanted to make sure all the platforms had 4s on them, so at least one person can verify what I'm saying is real. Now, I don't have no money in front of me. You've been told your whole life you need to operate in public and in private, but you haven't paid attention. Watch this. Turn your money over to the back side of that bill that you're looking at. I don't care what it is. Turn it over. All right. On the back of that money that you have, at the top, it should say the United States of America. Y'all with me, right? Now, at the top, it said United States of America. Put a 5 in the chat if you know United States of America is a business. Put a 5 in the chat if it says United States in America and you know that United States of America is a business. All right, so I ain't tripping. Okay, cool, I ain't tripping. I bet we all on the same page. Being that United States of America is a business, it's also public, right? United States the business, it's public. I hope y'all catching this. Right below the United States of America, there's something that says, "In God we trust." Now, I've been told this. I don't know if this is true, y'all. I don't know if this is true. But I've been told that "In God we trust" is the name of the United States of America's trust. That's what I've been told, y'all. I don't know if that's true. If "In God we trust" is the name of America Trust, that means that that is private, right? Just stop spending your money the whole time, y'all. United States of America, public. "In God we trust," private. Sounds good. Watch this. Now for y'all people that's up in age like me, put on your reading glasses, boys and girls. Put on your reading glasses. Put on your reading glasses. Turn your money over. I want you to see something. Go look for the thing in the fine print. I'm going to try to recite this off of memory. Y'all tell me if I'm right. On the front of your money, it's in different places on your money. It says, "This is a legal tender for all debts, public and private." It don't say nothing about personal. Put a 6 in the chat if you see that on your money. Put a 6 in the chat if you see that on your money. Okay, I ain't bugging. Okay, I ain't tripping. My next question is, why is that on your money? Why is that on your money? I'm just curious. Why have they been telling you your whole life you need to operate in public and in private your whole life and you haven't paid attention? You so concerned about what you need to do personally. In a nutshell, y'all, the money ain't yours. It's all going back to the original sender, and you're not the original sender. The money that's in your bank account, that digital number, you only holding it for the next person. Maybe it's a light bill. Maybe it's a car payment. Maybe it's a grocery bill. You're holding it for the next person. And when they get it, they only hold it to the next person. You're just recycling the same thing, y'all. I hope y'all understand what I just said. But when you start operating in public and in private, this is how you get away for never, ever having bills again in your life. See, poor people understand, and this is what they know to be true. They believe the primary use of money is to pay bills. Wealthy people understand the only use of money is to make money. It has no other use. This is the part where people, they get lost. Well, you got to use money for personal use. No, you don't. Tell me what you use your money personally for. I'll wait. Put it in the chat. And I'll show you how it's either public or private. Tell me. I got to know. I'm listening. Food. Okay. I knew somebody would say that. That's cute. That's how you feel, family. Goods and services. Light bill. Okay. Gas. Car. Shelter. Okay. Remember what I just said. Cleaning supplies. Okay. Medicine. Okay. Imagine that. Massages. Okay. Insurance. Oh. For all y'all good, clean people that got good jobs, building business credit. I like that. I get what y'all been taught, y'all. And it's going to hurt me more than it's going to hurt you. Your schools didn't teach you nothing. Your job, your fancy titles, you ain't learned nothing, y'all. And I, as a person that's barely high school educated, that worked in corporate America, I thought I learned everything, y'all. I ain't know nothing. And there's still a lot of stuff I don't know. Watch this. Let me ask y'all a question, boys and girls. For those of you that work in the 9 to 5, and don't worry, y'all keep what I just said, public and private, in mind, because I'm going to bring it all into full circle. But for those of you that work a 9 to 5, right? For those of you that work a 9 to 5, they got a good job. Let me ask y'all a question. Is the morale being low on your job something that's important to your job? They can't afford to have your morale low. Do y'all do surveys every year? Put a 7 in the chat if your job do surveys every year. You know, best place to work, best place to work it for working moms, whatever it is. Y'all do the employee surveys, right? I know you do them all the time, Bank of America, y'all. Can't afford to have no bad morale. Now, I know what they used to do at the bank. I don't know what they do at your job, but hey, look, when the morale was to go down at the bank, you know what they used to do? Y'all tell me they do it at y'all job too. I don't know. But when the morale go down, you know what they used to do? Buy y'all pizza, put some wings on it, throw a couple of Pepsis in there, and then they expense it. Do y'all job do that? Now, that's one of the things I learned from Bank of America. It was amazing to me. So guess what, boys and girls? All 98 of my employees, the one thing they don't have to worry about every single day they come to work is buying lunch. I can't afford for their morale to be down. They get bought lunch every single day. It just is what it is, y'all. 8 of the 98 employees is me, my wife, and all 6 of our kids. That will make food public, boys and girls. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I hope y'all just caught what I just gave you. Put an 8 in the chat if you just caught what I just said. Because I'm going to go further. I promise. Somebody said you got to pay a car payment. I laughed at it because I said, man, you know what happened, y'all? Your car, your vehicle is public. It's driving on a public road. Plus, the IRS incentivizes you as a business, if you need to conduct business, to get a business vehicle. If your vehicle weighs over 6,000 pounds and is used 100% for business, they'll let you, as of this year, they'll let you write the whole thing off. Now, I know you done heard people on social media talk about this, but I'm going to tell you what I did. In 2022, my business, one of my business needed a vehicle, went out and bought a $140,000 2023 Cadillac Escalade that had 2 miles on it. Wrote a check for $140,000, and then it weighed over 6,000 pounds and used 100% for business, wrote the whole thing off. Public. The gas that's going in that business vehicle, I ain't paying for that. The business pay for that. Business expense. The maintenance on that vehicle, still business. It ain't personal. Uh-oh. And I got a little froggy, y'all. Because this year, in 2024, I said to myself, maybe I got lucky that year, because that's what people think, right? You just got lucky. My wife business needed a vehicle. We went on up the Land Rover and bought a 2024 long body Range Rover, $150,000 cash, weighed over 6,000 pounds, used 100% for business, write off. Because your vehicle is public. Uh-oh. All right, I get it, but you ain't got to them bills at your house yet. I know I'm in a 7,000 square foot home right now walking around. At the top of the year, we're going to be in a 20,000 square foot home. I don't own this house. The roof over my head is private. The roof over somebody else's head is public. So the rental properties is public, that goes into business. The roof over my head is private, it goes into trust. So when bills come to the house, those not my bills, those the trust bills. Uh-oh. This is how Dame Dash, shout out to him, can go inside of court to fight child support, and he can show the judge that he only makes $6,000 a year. Uh-oh. Nobody ain't hearing this stuff in real life. Because you're not conditioned to think that way. Me, my wife, and 6 of our employees, well, actually 5 of 6 of our employees, we was in Los Cabos during the 4th of July weekend. We didn't go out there for the 4th of July. Caring about no 4th of July. We don't care nothing about it. We spent our time out there. We was in a 6,300 square foot penthouse. And we went and looked at some other penthouse too that was for sale. And we looked at some land out there too. That wasn't a vacation. We was on location. We took a business trip. Now, y'all tell me this, boys and girls, you got a good job. When your job send you on a business trip, what do they pay for? The flight, car rental, hotel, and food. And then they expense it. Uh-oh, not tax write-off. Business expense. It's a difference. And also, boys and girls, I get on here for free. I get on here for free all the time, y'all. I don't make a dime on none of this stuff, y'all. Been doing it for the last 92 weeks straight. I can't make this up. But don't get it twisted. This is a use situation. Y'all do know this stuff, right? Y'all use me for free information. Right? And I use y'all to show y'all my pretty clothes and my pretty shoes. Why? Because Zabo 103 is also one of my businesses. And even though I ain't getting paid on none of these platforms, business expense, business expense, business expense, business expense, I can keep going. Don't you write out the office space in your house for your small business? I'm in my movie theater conducting business right now. Guess what square footage I get to write off? My movie theater, my office, my gym, my game room where my pool table at, the full bar, the whole 9 yards, because I'm conducting business. A business expense, you get a dollar for dollar match. Write-offs are things that the IRS will allot you based off of your business doing certain things. So, like if you go and buy a vehicle, that's a write-off, right? Gas in that vehicle is an expense. The printer at your job is an expense. You get it? So it's a couple of different things. I know like everybody now make everything. It's a write-off. That's a write-off. Nah, it ain't that many write-offs out there, y'all. Let me keep going. I digress. So we didn't cover the business trip. We didn't cover the roof over your head and the bills coming to your house. We didn't cover food. Did I miss something? Oh yeah. When I was at Bank of America, did y'all believe they used to send us the birthday bash to the Falcons game, to the Braves game, to the Hawks game, and we used to sit in the suites and conduct business, and they expensed it. Y'all saw me and my wife last year at the Erykah Badu concert, on and on and on in the front row. But back in State Farm Arena, we had a little suite back there too, and we conducted some business. We were out there conducting business, y'all. Y'all saw me and 30 people in the suites at the Falcons and the Washington Commanders game. Do y'all know how much the suites cost? I can't afford that. The business can. Uh-oh. Y'all saw me and my wife in Turks and Cakes last year. $15,000 a night for the penthouse that we was in. I can't afford that. Had a butler, a chef, a driver, security, and Future and his entourage was right next door. Turn on the lights. I need y'all to think. And when we go into these places, we conducting business because we're doing content. So when we're on the ATVs, swimming with the dolphins, riding on camels, we conducting business, boys and girls. There's a limit on the write-offs you can have because they're not that many, but as far as in business expenses, it don't matter. Think of it this way, because you made a great point with what you just said. I don't care nothing about paying taxes, y'all. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I'm gonna pay taxes. You want to pay taxes. Now I know this is gonna sound crazy when I say this, y'all, but I don't know another way to put this. You want to pay taxes, y'all. But words matter. So if I say I don't pay taxes, I can't say that because people are literal. And they're like, what do you mean you don't pay taxes? That the wealthy people never pay taxes. This is so wrong. You don't pay taxes either. Remember, it's not your money. Okay, let me give you an example. Y'all heard the saying where they tell y'all on social media, you know, take your holding company and put your holding company inside of a trust, and then you pay your family living trust 95% of what your business made, and the other 5% you pay yourself, and that way you ain't got no taxes. They be saying that. And I always say, why they don't go through the rest, like what really happens? Let me help for a second. The only way you pay taxes if it's you earn the income. The only way you don't pay taxes if you don't earn an income. The IRS is your partner. Why are you trying to be shady with your partner? It's their money. So let me help you understand. When I hear people saying I don't pay taxes, I just say they ain't making no money. That's the truth. It ain't nothing more complicated than that, y'all. But riddle me this, Batman. If you make $100,000 a year on your business, because that's the mark people like to throw around, and you take $95,000 after they went through your trust and you put it to your family living trust, you paying yourself $5,000 a year. What you spending your money on? Your bills? You can't go get no capital from no financial institution. Why do I know that? Because banks look at your ability to pay and your willingness to pay. You have to check both boxes, boys and girls. Let me help you understand something. Your willingness to pay is your business credit or your personal credit. Can't make that up if I wanted to. Y'all know this. Y'all smart folks. Your ability to pay is how much money you earned. If you haven't earned no money, they're not lending you no money. Here's the scary part. If I would have just listened to my gut and said, I earned this $100,000 and I know I'm gonna have to pay $32,000 in taxes, probably a little bit less than that, but I'm just throwing a number out there just so y'all can get it. I owe Uncle Sam $32,000 this year. Next year, when I go to file my taxes, I got 3 years to pay this $32,000. Man, how am I gonna come up with this $32,000? I done spent all this money. Well, when you go to the bank, your business credit good. That's your willingness to pay. I made $100,000 last year on my business. That's your ability to pay. Do you know the bank will give you 5 to 6 times of what you earned as a business loan? So if I earned $100,000, the bank gonna give me, they gonna lend me what? $500,000. Uh-oh, I'm going back to get your money. I'm going back to get your money. As soon as I get that 500,000, guess what I'm doing? Writing the IRS a check for $32,000. Guess what on that $500,000? It ain't tax. It's a loan. What about the interest they gonna charge you? I get to write the interest off too. So let's say they charge me 50% interest. I gotta pay them back $750,000. I'm gonna turn that $500,000 into $1.5 million. Let's call it $1 million to be conservative. If I go and I generate $1 million, I got to get a bank 750 back. That 750 ain't taxed. That 250 that left is gonna take me 100,000 to conduct business. I'm down to 150. I didn't want to bought me a vehicle for $50,000. I'm only getting taxed on 100 grand. Guess what I got to get them? $32,000. Let me go on and write them their check. I didn't gave the bank their money back. I didn't gave them more money back, and I didn't earned more money for the business. I didn't went from having a business that's worth 100,000 to something that's worth $1 million in a year. Think. You pay interest, but you can write the interest off. So what am I saying, y'all? I'm saying you got to think. Now, I done gave y'all all these different things on why it's public and it's private. I told y'all to keep that in mind. Please explain to me what you're using personally. Which part you don't get? Explain. As soon as you get businesses, what do you mean? You can't write off your expenses day one. No, not all of it. Some things. Let me give you some examples because I think you're probably stuck on a couple of things, right? I don't do what everybody else do, right? I just don't. What a lot of people do, I just don't do. So let me give you a couple of things I do. I can't tell you everything because everything ain't for social media and I ain't trying to get kicked. So let me give you a couple of things that I do. Do I got some in there? As you heard, I own a toilet paper company. I thought I had a pack of toilet paper around so I could show y'all. Let me see. I'll go get some. Hold on a second. You'll never find. Blum, 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 blum. Someone to love you. The way that I do. You'll never find. Blum, 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 blum. Gibson toilet paper. Gibson toilet paper. All right. That's something simple. Hope you caught that. Last year, we planted 100 acres of pecan trees. We ain't selling pecan pies. We worked out a pretty lucrative deal with a major cell phone company, to lease our land to them so they could put their cell phone towers there. They pay a pretty penny. I did a deal earlier this year where I bought 1,157 acres of land out in Shelby, Mississippi. Hunting land, boys and girls. It was a short term deal because I don't really know much about hunting, but I'm learning a lot and I'm about to get ready to purchase some more. That deal only took me 3 months to make 35% off my money. I hope y'all just caught what I just said. You're talking about something that we're not talking about, family. Start alive and go ahead and show your true family, but we're not even. We're talking about two different things, family. As of today, well, a month ago now, we own 1,399 and a half acres of land. As of today, we had 242 and a half acres of land that we own. It was a short term deal for a friend of a friend of a family. They couldn't acquire it when it was for sale, so they asked me. So I did. They managed it, and 3 months later they were ready to buy, so they purchased it from me. But you're not reselling the land. The purpose is you make money when you buy land, 35%, not when you sell it. When I started seeing how much money you make off of hunting land, y'all, I was blown away. I'm looking for some hunting land right now because I didn't understand it. Now I do. Last year I bought 3 acres of this. What I got on my back right now. What you got on your back. What he got on his back. What she got on her back. I was live on the platform and they kicked me off for just showing it. Even if I say it right now, I might get kicked off, so I ain't even gonna say it. Think. So what I'm saying is it's bigger than what you know. Way bigger than what you know. Last week I went to property number 29 again, which we sold that subdivision out. So we good on that. I also went to the 41 and a half acres of land that we're gonna build on the top of the year. Why am I sharing these things? I'm sharing these things because you all are in position right now to do these things. Just gotta think. Most people look at taxes They look at all these mysterious things and they think, I can't afford these things. And they don't know you can't afford not to do these things. You just can't. I'm going to ask a question. We're going to get into how you do this because I think that's why I need to go next because I don't want people to get restless. I want people to figure out how they can do these things. And I'll give an example on what I would do and you can kind of follow along because I ain't never going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to tell you what I would do. Even if you don't own a business, we're going to talk about it. But let me ask a question. In the state that you're currently in, how old do your kids have to be before they can work? In your current state, what is the legal age for your kids to have a job, to work, be employees? 16, 15 in some states, 14, 15. What if I told you, depends on the type of work they're doing, but what's the lowest age of any type of work? And you can legally pay them. Have them on payroll. I mean, have them on salary. So are they working for the family and the IRS gonna let you write it off? What's that age? Babies can do commercials. Okay. We look at a lot of different things, family. Put a one in the chat, because I think that's a good point. I ain't never looked at that angle before. Put a one in the chat if you got your babies in commercials. Put a one in the chat. We're not talking about like an allowance, right? We talking about where the IRS is going to let you expense that off. You know, the term y'all like to use. But that commercial thing is real. How many of y'all got y'all babies in a commercial? One. Shout out that. One. Shout out to that. Okay. 6. Shout out to that, Vicky. Most people won't catch that, but shout out to that. I'm going to tell you, my youngest is 6. Six. He's an employee. Something I didn't know, y'all. Right? You the baby. That's funny. Something I didn't know, y'all. Because I always thought, here at least 15 with, a permit. That's what I thought. When I found out my 6-year-old can work for me, I was blown away. They can. That's what I've been told. But I only can go by what I've done. I ain't got no newborn. But I've been told as soon as they come out the womb, if you own agricultural land, farmland, boys and girls. That was wild to me. I couldn't believe it. I said, this stuff is really wild out here. Why we don't know this stuff? Why they don't teach this stuff in schools? Man, you're going to have all that agricultural land. You're going to pay all them taxes. I knew you were about to say that. So let me ask another question, and we're going to get into how, because I think that's more important than how. But let me ask this other question. If I don't want to say if you own your home, but I know that's how people think. So let me say it the way people think. If you own your own home, how much land does your home sit on and how much are your property taxes? If you own your home, and I'm saying it the way you can understand it, right? If you own your home, how much land does your home sit on and how much are the property taxes? You pay $5,000 a year? Jeez, that's crazy. How much land is that, family? A quarter acre? Where the heck you live? California? 4,000 a year? That's interesting. 4 acres, 800. Ugh. No, that's right, family. Shout out to that. 2,500 quarter acre, 3,250 3/4 acre, 0.75. Shout out to that. 7K on 2 acres. Ugh. The heck you live at? Where do y'all live at with these crazy numbers? Where? It's probably 1.2 acres. Oh, Alaska. Shout out to that family. Still a lot. That's high. That is a crazy number for 7. That's a lot. That's a lot. It got to be Alaska, or maybe in California somewhere. That's possible. $23 on 11 acres. Ugh. Oh, Richmond? Jeez. 2K on 3 acres? Good night. Y'all, last year, back in September to be exact, me and my wife, we went and purchased 41 and a half acres of land, cash, live on TikTok. I'm going to say it one more time. Me and my wife, last year in September, we bought 41 and a half acres of land, cash, live on TikTok. The closing probably took us about 4 minutes. And the only reason why I took that long is because the closing attorney was trying to figure out what me and my wife did for a living. We were live. And if we want to, I just want to put this in perspective. Black Wall Street was 40 acres, y'all. You know, in Tulsa, it was 40 acres. Me and my wife bought 41 and a half acres of land cash live on TikTok last September. Outside of the city limits, what would they be considered? What is outside of the city limit? How far away is outside of the city limits? What is that? How far is that? Like, is that 2 hours, 3 hours? How far is that? 4 hours? When you say I'm in Georgia, by the way. So you mean from Atlanta? Is that what you mean? The country? An hour? Okay. Oh, so minimally an hour and a half. Oh, okay. I was wondering you down to say 2 hours. Okay. So those 41 and a half acres of land that we paid cash for live on TikTok is 38 minutes from downtown Atlanta. It's 38 minutes from downtown Atlanta. 38 minutes. I was just live there. Not last, well, was that last weekend? Yeah, last weekend. I was just live down there. Uh-oh. Guess how much we pay for the property taxes? Guess how much we pay for the property taxes on 41 and a half acres of land? $60 a year. Uh-oh. That's not possible. It's possible when it's in conservation. It's possible when it's in conservation. Well, that's because it ain't nothing built on there yet. Well, you know what, Smarty Pants? I asked that question. I asked the little lady down there. In a nutshell, they're preserving life like wildlife, right? You can't conduct no business off of it, but like they trying to preserve for wildlife. That's all. So I asked the young lady, we plan on putting a 20,000 square foot primary home on here and a 5,000 square foot guest home on here. What the property tax is going to be at that point? She said it'll go up to a few $1,000s a year. I said, okay, that makes sense. I said, but my son, he got this thing for horses. We're going to buy a couple of Tennessee Walkers and some goats. What the property tax is going to go to at that point? So that's going to drop. I said, but the other thing I got to ask, something near dear to my heart, we're going to put a couple of burial sites on the property. What the tax is going to be at that point? Zero. Uh-oh. Most states have a minimum requirement of 10 acres. Minimally, they have to be in conservation. So you got to look at what the requirement is for your state. Georgia, you got to have at least 10 acres in there. What does that mean? If you go get 10 acres and you decide to build a home on it, for every structure that you build on that property, they're going to take 2 acres of land out. So if you just have 10 acres and you put a property on it, it's no longer in conservation. That means all the tax benefits you done got, you're going to have to pay back. They're going to hit you for it. So you have to go and get you at least 12 acres. Because every structure that you build on that property, they're going to take 2 acres out. So I was asking a lady, like, I was like, okay, so I kind of got an idea of taste, but wait. Don't go without this though. You're in this contract for 10 years. I said, I'm in this contract for 10 years. She said, that's a good thing. Don't look all angry. I said, what do you mean it's a good thing? 10 years is a long time. She said, when you build your structures on here, you only gonna be paying $60 a year until we come and review it again, which is not 10 years later. What? So I can build before that time frame is up? Yeah. Are you for real? Yeah. You're not conducting business off of it, you're just building a home, right? Yeah. I said, so we're gonna have probably about like 7 acres we're gonna take out of conservation once that 10 years up. That's what'll be out. Cause we're gonna have probably, the 2 properties on there. Probably gonna do an IMAX movie theater with the bowling alley, all this stuff up in there. A TikTok gun range, because I like that. We have some zip lining out there, some football fields, and do some ATVing, and all the different type of stuff that you want to do. Resort backyard that look like some of the resorts that we hang out at. She said, yeah, when we come review it in 10 years, we'll see what all you have. We'll do the calculation and we'll take that portion out of conservation and we'll leave the rest in. I said, well, wait. If I have the livestock on my land within 10 years and I have the burial sites on my land, the taxes on those 10 acres of land is going to be what? Zero. The remaining 31 and a half acres of land, what the property tax going to be on that? About $35 a year. I'm in. If you got a burial site on your land, I think it's every 2 acres. I think that's what it comes out to. Every 2 acres that you have a burial site. So if I have 2 acres of land, it's a burial site right here. I have another 2 acres of land, got a burial site right there. Another 2 acres of land, got a burial site right there. I think it's like every 2 acres. It's a scary thought. Think, y'all. This stuff is way bigger than you. It's way bigger than me. It's bigger than Nino Brown, baby. How do you do this? We didn't talk about how you do this if you make $100,000 a year. Hell, we didn't talk about this, how you do it all the way from Section 8. Here's the gift, y'all. It don't matter how much money you make. Money's not real. I just showed you it's only used for public and private use. The only purpose of money is to make money. You're just holding it for somebody else. Yeah, I think it's only people. Animals are not included in that, from what I know. So let's talk about it. How do you do this from where you at? You ain't got no business yet. You got a 9 to 5. You're sick and tired of it. How do you do this? Well, let's talk about it. The first thing I need in the chat, put in the chat how much money you make. It is a process, because the reality of it is, when you have money, you're going to have to trade your money in for time. When you don't have money, you have to trade your time in for money. That's the truth, y'all. The goal is to get yourself in a position so you can start trading your money for time. 200, 45, 54, 85, 35, 2.4 million. Shout out to you, fam. I know y'all be tapping in with your boy. So we got some little random numbers out there. 30K a year. What's up, Zach? So we've done it from 57,000 a year. We've done it from 100K a year. We've done it for 30,000. We've done it from Section 8. We've done it from $8,000 a year. I don't really know what number I need to go with at this point to make this make sense for it to click. And I'm only going to tell you what I would do, because I can't tell you what to do. 35K? I bet. I'll do it for 35K. I mean, I think that's fair. Somebody said 20K a year. Do it from Section 8. Y'all got a lot of different things. How do you get your 401k to start process of buying insurance? I don't really know. I mean, you can always borrow against your 401k if you want to do that, but I don't know if it's somebody on from Section 8. But we've done it from Section 8 before, just to show people it don't matter how much money you got. In fact, you make more than enough money. You in a place of privilege. The real baby whisper. Shout out to you, family. But here's what you do. And pay close attention to what I'm about to say. Never tell people on social media how much money you got to play with and you don't know what to do with it. They're just going to finesse you out of it. You're going, no matter how much money you have, you're just going to follow the steps. Listen, y'all. Those 4 different, I'm going to call them classes that people like to talk about, there's only 2. There's not 4. There's just 2. I'm going to say that one more time. There's not 4 different classes. There's just 2. The 4 classes that people talk about are what? Poor, middle class, rich, wealthy. 2 of these places don't exist. They're not real. Rich and middle class don't exist. We could talk about taxes on inheritance. Just depends how you do it, but we're going to talk about that too. I think you bring up a good point. So sit tight and keep that in mind keep that in mind what you're just about to say, because I'm going to answer that in what you're going to do. And I'll say, here you go, once I say it. All right, stay with me. Wealthy people and poor are the only 2 things that exist, y'all. If you see somebody that's rich, it's just the richest poor person you know. That's the truth. Because if you can count your money, you're broke. Poor people don't have money. They struggling. Wealthy people don't have money either. The difference between wealthy people and poor people is a mindset. Wealth is not money. Wealth is time. I hope y'all get what I just said. Wealth is not money. Wealth is time. Hope y'all caught that. If I made, I think I said 35,000 a year. Is that where I was at? Is that what I'm saying, bro? All right. If I brought home $35,000 a year, so I'm assuming this is after taxes, whatever, right? I'm gonna tell you right now. This is just me. I'm telling you what I would do, my situation. I can't tell you what to do because I'm not you. Listen to the example. Don't take it personal because I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about what I would do. Sucks, I got to get that disclaimer, right? If I was bringing home $35,000 a year, I'm going to tell you flat out right now, y'all. This is just me. I can't afford to live nowhere. I'm here in Georgia. I can't afford to live in Georgia. I just can't. It ain't nowhere I can afford to live making $35,000 a year. Maybe I can get a roommate, maybe a rooming house, but I can't afford to do much of nothing. That's the truth, right? So if I were bringing home $35,000 a year, you best to believe I'm living with somebody that care about me and love me dearly. Maybe my parents, maybe my brother, my sister. I'm living with my wife. I'm living with somebody, y'all, and I can't afford to be homeless. They locking folks up now and giving people fines for being homeless. So for me, y'all, a person that was like my dad growing up is my brother. I'm gonna go live with my big brother. He's a year older than me, y'all. I'm gonna go live with him. Now my big brother got a nice little crib. You know, he got a guest house and everything. My big brother, he doing this thing right now. I can appreciate my big brother. So I'm gonna move in with my big brother. And the day I move in with my big brother, guess what I'm gonna tell my big brother? Big bro, I know you got. I know you're real busy, big bro. You know that's when you're ready to start begging. When you start talking all polite and stuff, that's when you're ready to beg. I'm gonna tell my big bro, I got a plan, and this plan that I'm about to work, it's gonna take me what we would consider a long period of time, but time gonna fly by, big bro. But after this time fly by, I'm gonna be in a position to where I ain't gonna have to work no more, big bro. And since you looking out for me, big bro, you ain't gonna have to work either, big bro. I'm gonna do something that's gonna change our bloodline life forever, big bro. You know what my brother gonna say to me? Man, get out of my face, go sit down somewhere with these. I have a dream speech. You got this get rich quick scheme going. Nobody wanna hear that, man. I ain't invest no money, and then you got going on, man. Go sit down, get out my face. Well, do you mind if I know you got the guest house over there. You okay with me living out there in the guest house? Yeah, man, just stay over there, man. Just don't be in my way, man. And don't come over here eating up all my damn food. You know how your family members be when they love and care about you. They ain't gonna tell you the truth. You've been po mouthing your whole life. At least I have. I've been po mouth my whole life. My big brother, man, get out my face. Do what you do, man. Just get yourself together, man. Dang. You want your nephews and niece see you running around here po mouthing? Just talking harsh to a brother. I'm gonna say, all right, big bro, I got you. Guess what I'm gonna do? I'm bringing home $35,000 a year. This is pennies. I'm gonna stop spending my money on BS. I ain't got no choice. I gotta refocus. I need to put my money into three places. Those three places are basic living expenses, the biggest whole life insurance policy I can afford, and land. Every year that I'm there with my big bro, those three places are happening. Even when I get on my feet and I get out of my big brother place, those three things will happen for the rest of my life. Basic living expenses, the biggest whole life insurance policy I can afford, and land. Why land? Because they ain't making no more, y'all. Again, land is the only thing on this planet that only goes up in value and don't go up and down. Plus, you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. Why that whole life insurance policy and not a IULs? Because IULs have fees, y'all. Go look at Waka Flocka revamp when he told y'all to go out there and get those IULs and listen to how much money he lost in those IULs. It's off the market. So when the market is up, you're making good money. You got no fees, but you're making good money. But when the market is down and you're losing money, you still got to pay them fees. If you broke, you can't afford no IUL anyway. Why that whole life insurance policy? Because your health is your wealth. The healthier you are, the bigger the insurance policy you can get. So if I got this insurance policy and I'm putting money in it, I'm getting compound interest on this money tax free that I can borrow against and pay myself back with interest. I'm on it. Last thing, basic living expenses. Watch this. Kids about to do something crazy. They running around like, throw my dough. I mean, they about to go somewhere. So I'm about to drive somewhere. Watch this. I'm in my brother's crib. I ain't got no bills. He told me I can't come over there and eat no food out of his refrigerator, even though he let me come over there and eat it every now and then. He just told me don't eat up all his food, which I ain't gonna do that because he been so gracious enough to let me live here for free. I ain't got no light bill. I ain't got no rent. I'm going out cutting the grass for him for free because it's just the right thing to do. No water bill, no gas bill, no internet bill. Uh-oh. So what I'm gonna do? The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna remove my pride. I gotta remove it. And I'm gonna mosey on down and I'm gonna apply for Section 8. Yep, a grown man, I'm applying for Section 8. I gotta figure out if I can get it. I'm applying for Section 8. And when I apply for Section 8, and they say I don't make no money because it depends on which state you live in. I know. What if Section 8 say we're gonna give you $800 a month? I just one of the lucky men that locked up and got Section 8. I'm getting $800 voucher a month from Section 8. I ain't got no rent. I ain't got no mortgage yet. While I'm down there applying for Section 8, I'm also going to apply for food stamps. What if they tell me they're going to give me $200 a month? I'll take that card. While I'm down there, I'm also going to apply for that Obama phone. That's what they told me was. It ain't no Obama phone, it's just a government phone, right? But I'm going to apply for that Obama phone. That phone got internet on it. It's a smartphone. I'm going to apply for it. I ain't touched that $35,000 yet, y'all. I hope y'all didn't heard what I just said. So what I'm going to do at that point, if I done got my Section 8 voucher, getting $200 a month, food stamps, and I got an Obama phone. My regular cell phone is gone. I don't need no bills. It's gone. Big bro, I need you to set up this guest house on Section 8. I need you to set it up on Section 8. And I'm going to be your tenant. What are you talking about? They approved me for an $800 voucher. Let me go ahead and get this. I'm going to be your tenant. I'm here anyway for free. Put this property on Section 8. I'm your tenant anyway for free. Now I'm giving you $800 a month. Whatever he got to do, he got to do it. So he can get this $800 a month. I hope y'all just picked up what I just said. Also, big bro, they gave me $200 for food stamps. Here's the card, bro. Go get $200 worth of groceries to put in the house so I can come to the big house and eat. so I can come to the big house and eat, big bro. I still ain't touched my $35,000 yet. I ain't got no car payment. I just got a piece of a car. I got some car insurance, and I got to put gas in my car. I ain't got to buy food no more, though. I ain't got to worry about no rent, no mortgage no more. And I ain't got to worry about no cell phone bill. I got clothes. I'm in shape because I'm trying to get this big old insurance policy. So I got to stay healthy. I ain't gaining no weight. The clothes I got fit. Well, my big brother see that I'm giving him this $800 a month voucher. And it's $200 a month in food stamps. He just got $1,000 a month for his little bro. I'ma have the conversation with Big Bro. Big Bro, I told you I got a plan, Big Bro, and I'm trying to work this out. I know you want me to keep talking about it. He like, man, you a bum, man. You the one that got food stamps and Section 8, man. Go sit down. So nobody care about all that. We appreciate you doing what you're doing, man. Your part is cool, but whatever, man. Whatever your plan is, man, just do what you do, man, so you can get your life together, man. Because you can't be on Section 8 for your whole life. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's cool. I ain't mad at that. Just an example. This is not something, don't be literal right now. Just follow along because it's going to help you. Trust me. I still ain't touched my 35,000 yet. Guess what I'm going to do now? There's a company out there called LexisNexis. LexisNexis is a company that houses all your information. I mean, all of it. I'm going to call LexisNexis. And the very first person that get on the phone, I'm going to tell them, hey, can you freeze my clue report and my personal file? They're going to try to upsell me on some extra privacy. I don't need that, sir. I just need you to freeze my clue report and my personal file. They're going to tell me, fine, Mr. Gibson, we're going to send you out a PIN number. Should get it in a few days. And you can unfreeze and freeze your clue report and your personal file at any time. I'm going to say thank you so much. Clue report and personal file. You got it right. I'm going to wait a few days. I got my PIN number in my hand. I'm happy. I know it's frozen. And as soon as I got that in my hand, guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to reach out to Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and I'm going to start disputing. That's not my address. I never applied for these cards. I don't owe this balance. Verify this debt. This not my account. Would you believe they got 30 days to verify your information? Y'all know that, right? A lot of people know they got 30 days to verify your information. What a lot of people don't know is they're reaching out to LexisNexis to verify your information. What even less people know, being that your clue report and your personal file is frozen, nothing's coming back. We all know what happened when it doesn't come back. It's coming off your credit and it's free. I still ain't touched my $35,000 yet. Uh-oh. They can't verify it. Your clue report and your personal file is frozen. Uh-oh. At least I done got this stuff on my credit. Let me check that box. What's the next thing I'm going to do? Man, I'm going to go sign up for this NACA program. NACA. N-A-C-A. It does include student loans. It can be removed off your credit, but you still got to pay them folks. They're going to get their money. And I'm happy you said that, right? If you driving around in a brand new whip and you dispute that off your credit and you stop making your payment, they coming to get their car, y'all. Don't be silly. It's just coming off your credit. Hopefully y'all caught that. But if you got student loans, every, administration that goes into office, they do a forgiveness plans on your student loans. Y'all do know this stuff, right? I didn't go to college. I ain't never had no student loans. For the people that went to college, y'all do know this stuff, right? every administration that goes into office, they have a forgiveness program for your student loans. That's a nice election coming up. New administration or old, they'll forgive them loans. Uh-oh. I still ain't touched that 35,000. Now I'm a mosey on up here to NACA. And I know people don't really like NACA. NACA help people get houses, y'all. They do. I don't care if I got to sit there for 4 hours. I don't care if I got to be in there for 2 years of waiting for them to get me a house. I got a place to live. Did you know if you own your own land, NACA will actually help you build a home on your land? Uh-oh. They also give loans out too. I hope y'all caught that. But that ain't the point. You're not trying to be irresponsible. At least I'm not. I got a plan on this 35,000. So when I get to NACA, NACA gonna tell me what? You gotta move into the property. You can't have no lates on your credit in the last 12 months, right? And you gotta make a down payment. I ain't got no money for no down payment. Good thing I qualify for the down payment assistance program. Check that box. I just fixed my credit doing this LexisNexis thing. I ain't got no lates on my account in the last 12 months. Check that box. And if I decide to get a property shoe, you think I ain't moving in there? I am. And they'll use my Section 8 voucher as a part of my income too. Uh-oh. Just in case my brother get a little froggy. Just in case. I still ain't touched that $35,000 yet, y'all. Just so we clear. Now let's get into the magic. If I'm bringing home $35,000 a year, I got all this other stuff behind me. My basic living expenses is minimum. My car insurance, $200 a month. I'm probably spending another $200 a month on gas. I don't have to buy no food. That's about $4,800 a year. $5,000, y'all, a year that I'm spending on basic living expenses. This is gonna get wild. So out of that $35,000, $5,000 coming out the basic living expenses, I done check that box. For the people at home that are doing the math on their own numbers, 60% of your money that you bring home after taxes is going to basic living expenses. 25% is going to the biggest whole life insurance policy you can afford. That last 10% going into land. Watch this. You have to move in that NACA home. They don't care if you put it in a trust. They don't care if you rent it out. You got to move into that NACA home. Just FYI. So $5,000 for my basic living expenses based off of my numbers and my example on what I would do. That's going to leave me with 30 grand. Y'all caught that, right? I'm going to be extreme this time around. No, I ain't going to be extreme. I'm going to stay basic. No, I'm going to be extreme. I'm going to be extreme. With that $30,000, I'm going to take another $5,000 because I'm a young man. I'm going to be ignorant a little bit and want to date a little bit, which I shouldn't be trying to date nobody. They will help you if you already have a home, as long as you move into the home that NACA is getting for you. That's the key. If you're not going to move into the home that NACA is doing for you, they're not going to help you. You can't have two homes in a NACA program. So if you already got a home and you want to rent your home out, you can rent it out and go through the NACA program, but you got to move into that NACA home. I don't know about what you're asking, but listen to what I'm saying. If you go through the NACA program, one of the things to qualify, you have to move into that home that you're getting through NACA. That's just what it is. $30,000. So here's what I'm doing with my 30 grand. I'm gonna take $5,000 just so I can kind of just live a little bit. So I ain't too stressed. Maybe get me some good little haircuts. You know, maybe buy me a pair of shoes once a year. whatever, right? That 25 grand that I got left over is going to two places, boys and girls. 15 grand going to the biggest whole life insurance policy we can afford. Why, y'all? Because my health is my wealth. The healthier you are, the bigger the life insurance policy you can get. That last $10,000, you going to go get you 2 acres of land. And before somebody say you can't even buy 1 acre of land for $10,000, I know. That's why I said you're going to buy 2. You're not buying homes in no major city, y'all. You're buying your home 30 to 45 minutes out from the major city. We looked at every state across America these last 92 weeks. In every state across America, on average, you can find a piece of land, 1 acre, on average of $5,000 or less. I hope y'all catching this. So you're going to spend 10 grand on 2 acres. If you want to put it to the test, it's probably late now, but Monday morning, go on some of these websites that sell land, find a broker or agent, and tell them, send you every piece of land in your state that's 2 acres or more, $10,000 or less. They will send it to you for free because the buyer don't pay them, the seller do. Uh-oh. Hopefully y'all caught that. Now, my brother being generous. My brother gonna let me stay here forever. He don't care. He love me, even though I get on his nerve. If you have money, the more money you have, the less time it take you. If you don't, you got to go through the process. You're gonna take your time. I'm gonna work my plan for 10 years. 10. Why am I gonna work my plan for 10 years? Because 10 years is gonna fly by. You know how fast it's gonna fly by? Let me give you an example. Everybody, if you're not driving, close your eyes for a second. Close them. Where were you the day that the pandemic hit? Don't type it. Think. Open your eyes. That was 4.5 years ago. Uh-oh. That's how fast time is flying, y'all, if you haven't figured it out. So I'm going to do this for 10 years. Why am I going to do this for 10 years? Because I have a target. In 10 years, I ain't never going to have to work for nobody else for the rest of my life. You've been on your job for 20, 30 years and you still can't retire. And even when you do retire, you're going to be retired for 2 years and you're going to realize you don't have enough money to retire. Now you got to go to Walmart and be a greeter. That math don't math to me. I ain't trying to work for nobody because I'm lazy. So if I'm doing this for 10 years, what's going to happen? If I'm buying 2 acres of land every single year, in 10 years, I will own 20 acres of land. Notice I ain't saying nothing about going to get no loans, y'all. Notice I ain't saying nothing about partnering with nobody. Think. I will own 20 acres of land in 10 years. Flat out. What about the property taxes? It's so small, y'all. It probably costs you about $50 to $100. Ain't nothing on the land, y'all. Probably costs you like $50 or $100 a year. If it's $50 a year, at the very most, $100 a year on each acre that you have, it'll cost you $2,000 a year. 2. You got that 5,000 out. Remember, I had that 5,000 I was just playing with. Hopefully you got it. A real estate agent, maybe one that specializes in land, they'll send it to you. A broker, I get it, but I'm going to show you something different. Mind blowing too. 20 acres of land I own outright. But remember, I will put 15 grand into that whole life insurance policy that's been getting compound interest on his money tax-free for the last 10 years. In year 10, I have at least minimally $200,000 that I can borrow from my policy I gotta pay it back. It's tax free. And I'm paying myself back with interest. What you think I'm gonna do at this point? As a person that then built 29 homes out of his own pocket, I know whatever the value of the home is, it normally take half of the amount to build a home. So if I take that $200,000 and I go build me a single family home, I got me a property that's somewhere around $400,000 worth. Let me ask y'all a question, boys and girls. I'm living with my brother in this example, y'all. I ain't in no rush to move nowhere. He ain't tripping. He getting that voucher every month. And he getting them food stamps every month. He ain't really in no hurry for me to leave either. But he's seeing the moves I'm making. Hope y'all caught it. Watch this. I got this property I done built for 200,000. It's worth 400 grand. What you think I'm gonna do at this point? Rent it out? You know what everybody be talking about they do with land all the time. I'm gonna rent it out. Let me ask y'all a question. On a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, new construction house that's 35 minutes out from the major city, how much is the rent where you live? If you want to rent out a house right now, that's a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, new construction house, how much is the rent? Where y'all live at? I don't know. Maybe I'm tripping. I know in Georgia you might spend about 2,500. Might spend more than closer to 3, depending on how nice it is. 2,200, 2,600, 1,800 bucks. That's about right. 1,500 bucks. Okay, I'm with you. 24 easy. Okay. All right. So let's call it $2,000. We being generous, right? But I almost forgot. Let me ask another question. Said 4 grand. How much is a 3-bedroom, 2.5 bath, 2-car garage, new construction house gonna be in 10 years for rent? I'm listening. That's when you're gonna become a landlord 10 years from now. How much the rent gonna be in 10 years? It ain't gonna be 2 grand no more. Just so we clear. Easily double. Uh-oh. I hope y'all just picked up what I just said. This stuff is about to get wild. So what y'all think I'm gonna do, boys and girls? I'm gonna rent this property out. I don't know. Let me be a little conservative, enjoy it, because if I said 3 grand, I mean 6 easy. I'm gonna say $5,000 a month. 5 grand ain't that much. Not in 10 years. What you think I'm gonna do at this point? I got the tenant up paying me 5 grand a month. Now I'm gonna go to the bank. I'm about to put this property in debt. I'm with you. I'm about to put this property in debt. I'm gonna take an acre of land and I'm gonna build that single family home. Now I'm gonna go put this property in debt. I'm going to the bank. Hey, I need y'all to put the mortgage on this property. This property worth $400,000. It's gonna be worth more then, but it's worth 400 grand. You an investor. You gotta put 20% down. I ain't got no $80,000 in my hand. Good thing I got it in equity. That means I'm gonna have a mortgage of $320,000. Who's getting that $320,000? You. Tax free. That your tenant paying back. Uh-oh. Hope y'all just caught that. I hope y'all just caught that. How much is the mortgage gonna be on $320,000? I don't know what that mortgage look like these days. What's the mortgage looking like on $320,000? 2,500, 3 grand? I don't know. I'm gonna call it 3 grand just to make sure we cover everything you need to cover, your property taxes, whatever. I'm being extreme. 2,000 a month, 2,500. Okay. I'm gonna say 3 grand, y'all. I'm gonna be extreme. Just here's what it is. It's gonna automatically go up on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook automatically, 100%. 3 grand. The tenant is paying me $5,000 a month. $3,000 going to the mortgage. That's gonna leave me with $2,000. Guess what happened with that $2,000, y'all? It ain't taxed out the gate, y'all. Why? I gotta get what's called a return on my capital first. You know, the $80,000 in equity that I put down on this property. It ain't taxed till I get that money back. Uh-oh. I got $320,000 in his hand, tax free. That my tenant paying that money, and $2,000 in his hand. You don't understand how you never gonna have to work for the rest of your life? I'm about to get ready to retire my brother. Big bro, I told you I had a plan. Big bro said, well, that's good, man. You got off your start, but you still live in my crib, man. I don't want to hear what you're talking about till you get out. All right, big bro. Give me some months. I'm coming back. I need about give me another year or two, bro. I'm moving in slow motion, but give me another year or two. We're gonna make stuff happen. What you think I'm gonna do? I did this on an acre of land, y'all. I got 19 more acres left. What you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do it 19 more times. Well, wait, let me do the math real quick. If every time I do this, I'm putting my $200,000 in to build it, I'm getting my $120,000 back. That's a total of $320,000. Every time I do it, I'm getting $120,000 times 20. If I carry the one, that's $2.4 million tax free. What job you got making this type of money? What business you got making this type of money? I'm listening. $2.4 million tax free that I didn't figure out how to get, bringing home $35,000 a year. Uh-oh. I hope y'all picked that up. I hope y'all caught that. We'll talk about that. Don't worry. This stuff is wild. Imagine you got courses being sold to you right now that you're paying for, and I just gave y'all that for free. Your course ain't teaching you that. Why? They don't know. They ain't got a clue. They still think that they got a bag, they got money, and they don't understand. Nobody has no money. It's not real. The only purpose of money is to make money. You get it? How did I forget, y'all? There's more. How did I forget that, man? The replay is going to be on Instagram at Zabo103 and YouTube at Zabo103 and Facebook at Xavier Gibson. But I forgot there's more, y'all. Don't go nowhere yet. There's more. You remember that $2,000 over here that you were getting? It ain't taxed out the gate till you get that return on capital first. Y'all remember that, right? You also getting that 20 times as well. If I do that, carry that too, that's an extra $40,000 a month on top of the $2.4 million. You were making, bringing home $35,000 a year. Now you're doing $40,000 a month on one side on top of the $2.4 million tax free. Tell me what business y'all got making this type of money. I'm listening. Anybody? No? No? Nothing? Nothing? What you think I'm gonna tell my big bro when this happened? Big bro, you can go and quit your job, big bro. Well, you know, I own my house, man. I got to pay my house out. Well, you don't own it if you got a mortgage. You borrowed it from the bank. I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. All my good, clean people, I'm a homeowner, but you got a mortgage. You don't own it. You're renting it from the bank. Big bro, I'm gonna pay your house off. I'm just gonna pay it off, bro. And we're gonna do some different stuff, family. You owe like 300 on this house, 400 on it. I'm gonna take out of that 2.4 that I got tax free because you didn't look out for me. I'm paying off that mortgage. I'm giving that whole 400 to you, bro. Pay it off. You don't need no mortgage. We're going to do something different. That 40 grand a month I'm getting, I ain't touching that money. Caring about no money. What am I doing with that $2 million? I'm going back and I'm gonna go get the biggest whole life insurance policy I can afford and make my monthly payments. I'm gonna go buy me some more land. And what you think I'm gonna do with that money once I buy that land? I might do some more rental properties. It makes sense because I understand that concept now. I hope you caught it. I might go out there and get into some farming. I might go out there and see if I can build me a small little hangar for some of these wealthy folks to leave their private jet because it costs more money for your plane to be on the ground than it does in the air. Ooh. There are so many ways to make money off of land. It's just impossible for me to even think about it. You can do that too. But now what I got to do, because now I'm conducting business. This job I had, I'm no longer on food stamp. I ain't really buying no gold. It just is what it is. Think of it this way, because I know people say buy, but I guess you're trying to say buy some gold. Think of it this way. What's the point of buying gold? What's the point of putting your money in crypto? What's the point of having money? The point of you having any type of money is so you can get food, water, shelter, clothes on your back. Hopefully y'all caught this. So instead of me going to get money just to get these 4 things, why not just go get these 4 things? You can do a lot of things. A lot. Watch this. Here's that moment coming up. I think I forgot the young lady name. She talked about leaving wealth, an inheritance to your kids. Watch this. Watch this. Hope y'all catch this. Wealth is not money, it's time. The problem that we get into realistically, we're so bent on leaving our kids a house, some rental properties. Y'all just leaving them debt. You know that, right? You're leaving them debt. I hope y'all understand that. In fact, the house that you're living in is going to take you 30 years to pay it off. That's if you don't take a home equity line of credit or refinance, whatever it is, a reverse mortgage, whatever these people doing these days. It's going to take you 30 years to pay it off. How long do you think you're going to be on this planet with your kids? You're going to be on the planet after you got your house, your kids are grown now. You're going to be on this planet for another, what, 50 years? 60 years? When you leave this property to your kids, whether it's going through a trust or not, guess what your kids going to have to do with that property? They're going to have to fix it. Let's say they ain't got no mortgage on it. They're going to have to fix it. Because it's going to need repairs. This property been here for 80 years. You don't think it's going to need a roof? You don't think it's going to need some new plumbing? Electrical? Think y'all. Hope y'all catching this. I learned something that was mind-blowing to me. I said to myself, I ain't leaving my kids no properties, no homes. I'm leaving them land. They can make a decision what they want to do. Think. The roof over your head is private. It goes in a trust. The roof over somebody else's head is public and it goes in a business. I hope y'all just heard what I said. So the rental properties that's in a business that I don't own, the business own, when I leave this planet, the beneficiary of that business is one of the trusts. Whoever's gonna be the successor, the rental property's been paying for themselves and they've been keeping the maintenance. This property that's in the trust, that ain't my property, it's the trust property, it's been getting repaired every time it need to get repaired by the trust. I ain't leaving that to the kids. It's being left to the trust. You get it? Watch this though. Because here's the part people don't tell you about a trust. When you leave this planet, if you have over $12.92 million cash, $12.92 million cash in your trust when you leave this planet, it's getting taxed at 40%. Why every time somebody talk about a trust, they don't ever talk about that? If you have over $12.92 million cash in your trust when you leave this planet, it's getting taxed at 40%. And there have been conversations about them lowering it down to $5 million. I hope y'all catching this. Your money, I get this whole thing of you got to have money going to your trust to keep your trust going. And I hear what people say, and I get it. People don't have 12.9 million. I know. Watch this. It don't matter what kind of trust you got, doesn't matter. What does that mean? Well, it's going back to what we just talked about. Money on the front of your cash, it says this is a legal tender for all debts, public and private. Private trust, public business. Watch this. Your trust don't need no money, y'all. Your trust don't need no cash. It has no purpose for it. I'll prove it because I know somebody say, nope, you gotta have, I heard on TikTok that you gotta have money going into your trust and you gotta do that. Sure, you gotta have money going to it, but your money you don't need money in a trust. Let me explain something. Every time somebody hear that somebody has a trust, what's the first thing they got? They got money, y'all. They got a bag. You do know if you got money inside of a trust, it's just a checking account with the trust name on it. Y'all do know this stuff, right? It's just a checking account with the trust name on it. Just got to find an attorney that specializes in trusts. Tell them what you got going on currently. Tell them what you're trying to do in the future and let them create the perfect trust for you. But y'all do know this, right? Y'all don't believe me, you don't need no money in the trust? Let me ask y'all a question. Put I believe, and I know this is a lot to write. Put I believe if you believe Warren Buffett or Bill Gates have more than $12.9 million cash. But I believe, if you believe that Warren Buffett or Bill Gates got more than $12.92 million cash. A lot of believes, right? A lot of people believe that. Say, nope, nope, nope. Fun fact. Land in your trust when you leave this planet is not cash, so it's not taxed when you leave this planet. Let's go back to Warren Buffett and Bill Gates. They both said in an interview that when they leave this planet, all their wealth is going to a nonprofit organization. They don't want to get hit with that 40%. If you ever looked at their net worth, it fluctuates all the time because it's based off their stock. They traded their cash in for land. Warren Buffett, have y'all seen his land portfolio? Bill Gates owned 275,000 acres of farmland. Why? They understand land is the only thing on this planet that only goes up in value and don't go up and down. Plus, you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. I hope y'all kicking this to me. Who owns the nonprofit organization? It don't exist. You think that if I own my own nonprofit organization, and when I leave this planet, I can send all my money to my own nonprofit organization, the IRS will hit me in the head from the grave. Ain't nobody got no money, y'all. It's not necessary. You really have no purpose for it. The only purpose of it is to make money. You taxed on your property tax when you're alive? Well, we just talked about how I'm doing on the 41 and a half acres land. We're paying $60 a year for that property tax. And it's going to drop, because we're going to do some different things with it. But, and I can't move around a little bit, Alex, because I think you asked a good question, family. But when you get a minute, well, let me ask a question, because property tax is a big deal, right? You pay property tax when you're alive. Okay, that's fair. Let me ask a question. Tell me the person name in your city who you pay your property taxes to. Go. Tell me the person name in your city who you pay your property taxes to. Go. It's a big world out here, y'all. And there's a lot of stuff people we just don't know. And I'm a believer that when you know better, you got to do better, right? You pay it to the state, okay. To the county, the government, tax assessor office. Amazing. What if I told you there's a person in your city that the property taxes are going to? There's a person. When y'all get a second, I know that's right. When y'all get a second, I want y'all to go to Google, because we go to Google for everything. Go to Google, and I want you to Google the smallest city in America. When you Google the smallest city in America, you should come up with a place out of Nebraska. A little old lady should come up, 88 years old. Her name is Miss E. I ain't gonna give you a real name. There you go, family. Miss E owns 134 acres of land, and she owns the smallest city in America. Not only does she own the smallest city in America, she pays taxes to herself. I'm going to say that again. There you go, family. She pays taxes to herself, and she grants her own alcohol license. I know you go up to the county and pay your taxes, but who gets the budget? The city. Who gets the budget? The city. How many potholes you done hit that these roads supposed to be fixed, that your city's supposed to be fixing, that ain't been fixed as long as you've been living? How long they been working on that highway? How is it possible that the mayor in Atlanta can tell you when they went 5 days without water, they had 4 major breaks on these little pipes down here that haven't been worked on since 1917, over 100 years? Where's your tax dollar going? Uh-oh, the owner of the city. Have you been inside the school and look at these textbooks? Why that street light always out? Come on, y'all. I need y'all to think. So if she paying taxes to herself, what's the next logical thing? How do I own my own city? Well, I found out you only need 50 acres to own a city. As of today, we own 242 and a half acres of land. I got some attorneys working on Mill City. It's going to take about 10 years. I don't even know if they're going to approve it. We're going to try it. Thank you, Ms. E, for opening my eyes. You more than welcome to come buy land in my city. It's going to be schools out there, police department, fire department, churches, restaurants, hospitals, everything, banks, all the things you can think of that you need, entertainment. Come on and buy you a half an acre land, quarter acre land, and pay your property taxes. We appreciate the budget. We appreciate the budget. Think. So let me explain how this works after you then did all this process, this 10-year plan y'all done went through. And by the way, y'all, I ain't guessing at this stuff. I just told y'all what I did. It just is what it is, y'all. But nevertheless, I digress, right? Let's go through this process. Business, public. Biggest whole life insurance policy you can afford because you're leaving this planet. Nobody makes it out. Just is what it is, y'all. Land, why? Because they ain't making no more. Plus, you make money when you buy land, not when you sell it. Last thing, trust. 4 things, y'all. These 4 things are the things that you're going to put in place after you. Well, let me say you. After I done this, and I got my brother situated, in my example, I'm going to put these 4 things in place. That's what I'm going to do. Now I'm going to start playing Monopoly in real life. Every year, I'm going to do the same thing. Replay is going to be up on here on YouTube and Facebook and on Instagram. So you'll be able to catch replay, family. These 4 things. And my battery about to down here. And I don't have my charger down here. Oh my God. Dang. If this platform right here, if y'all right here go off for any reason, I'm on TikTok at Zabo103 and Instagram at Zabo103. And all the replays will be there. So y'all will be able to see it. Big bro, we off to the races. My money's going to these 4 places. I'm making money on my business. My business can be real estate. I got rental properties. It can be, I have now my trucking company I got going. It can be my security company I got going. It can be whatever I want it to be. It depends. Think of it this way when it comes to land. If it's private, it goes in a trust. If it's public, it goes in a business. Anything that you have in a business, I'm going to be honest with you, this is my opinion, it should be in debt. The roof over somebody else's head is public. The roof over my head is private. The roof over my head, the trust own it outright. The roof over somebody else's head, I just control it. So those rental properties, I'm going to keep it in debt. 50 acres, minimally. All right, big bro, I'm doing these 4 things. Business, whole life insurance policy, land, trust. Here's how it's going to work, boys and girls. The business is going to conduct business. The business is going to have business expenses. The business is going to have taxes. The write-offs are between you and your CPA, ain't got nothing to do with me. The money that's left over from the taxes and the business expenses is only going to 2 places. A percentage of the money is going to the trust checking account so the trust can pay the trust bills because they ain't got no bills. Hopefully y'all caught that. The rest of the money that was left over after the percentage went to the trust checking account, the business paid its expenses and business paid the taxes. The rest of this money is going to zero by December 31st doing what? Buying land. Did y'all catch that? Business expenses, taxes, money left over, percentage going to the trust so the trust can pay the trust checking account. The rest of the money left over going to zero by December 31st, buying land. A full cash dump. Bloop. Every year. Go to zero. Hope you caught that. Hope you caught it. So why am I doing that? Because I don't need no money. We went to zero last year, December 31st of 2023. And by March of 2024, we spent seven figures. I hope y'all understand what I just said. Why am I doing that? Because I'm playing Monopoly in real life. You know, I'm going around the board. When I get to Boardwalk, I should be at zero, December 31st. When I get to go, January the 1st, all the businesses and banks are closed. If you don't dump your money, it's not a big deal. It's not taxed. Your money already been taxed. But I'm not in the habit of keeping any money. I want to get rid of it. You know how they say that money burning a hole in your pocket? It need to. But you need to get rid of money, getting what I like to call the guaranteed return on investment. So I'm on go. I ain't collect my $200 yet because all the banks closed. January the 1st. On January the 2nd, I finally went past go out and collect my $200. I'm going to go around this planet every single day. Every piece of land that I land on that's for sale that I can afford, I'm buying it. I don't care what it is. Man, it's swamp land. You know how much money you make off of swamp land? Do you really understand how much money you make off of swamp land? Okay, let me help you out. If I go buy me some swamp land, well, you can't expense your land. You just can't because it's an asset. But they won't let you write it off because it's an asset. Expense it, they ain't letting you do that. At least my CPA ain't told me how to do that yet. But that's okay. It don't matter. I've already been taxed. I've already gave Uncle Sam their money. Let's say I made $10 million for the whole year. I got my taxes down to $4 million where I got to pay taxes on. And I got to get Uncle Sam $1.5 million. Next year when I go file them taxes, I'm also going to go to the bank after I file my taxes. I got my returns. I done gave them their 1.5 out of it because I was smart this year. I put the money to the side to do what I need to do. But I'm going to the bank. The bank going to look at my credit, business or personal, and say he got the willingness to pay because he got good credit. The bank going to look at my ability to pay and say, oh my goodness, he generated $4 million last year. That's what he earned. We're going to give him 5 times to what he earned. Sound like I just got $20 million from the bank, tax-free. Uh-oh. And I'm writing off the interest. What you think I'm doing with that 20 million? I'm gonna turn that 20 million to 40. Now, if they charge me 50% interest, that's $10 million in interest, which ain't real. I'm writing that 10 million off. So when I make that 30,000, when I get that 40,000 back, 30,000 going back to the bank. It ain't taxed. That other $10 million, I got business expenses. Let me skinny that down by $6 million. I got $4 million I got taxes on. Hopefully y'all caught that. I gotta pay 1.5. I'm gonna write them a check for 1.5. And next year when I file my taxes, I already paid the bank back. Guess what I'm gonna go get me, boys and girls? Another $20 million. Guess what I'm gonna do with that other $2.5 million? Buy more land. But let me go through this example. business, business expenses, taxes, the write-offs are between you and your CPA, ain't got nothing to do with me. A percentage of money going to the trust checking account so the trust can pay the trust bills because I ain't got none. The rest of the money, buying land. Y'all got it, right? Let me ask y'all a question. Put a yes in the chat if you've ever rode by a property or land and this land been like just over there with cows on it, trees, and you've been doing that for the last 30, 40 years. You've been saying it and people ain't never did nothing with the land. How many people didn't see that? Put a yes in the chat if y'all seen that before. It depends on how much the trust bills are. Because the trust money is going to zero too. Y'all saw that before, right? I always used to wonder when I would see that. I would say to myself, those people may got a bunch of money because I don't never do that with that land. Why they ain't doing that with that land? This is wild to me. They must be paid. Or they just ain't got the money to do nothing with it. They broke and they got that land. Why they holding on to it? Get it, or the government must own it. You know how we think. I don't think that no more, y'all. Because what I started to see was, I started to see where these people started to do something with this land. I said they must have sold the land. Oh, they finally started to do something with that land? About time. That ain't what happened, y'all. RIP to the person that passed away. Let me explain. $10 million whole life insurance policy on myself. 10 on my wife. Policy on my kids. I got 242 and a half acres of land. My wife got land. My kids got land. I'm a member of 9 different businesses. My wife got businesses. My kids got businesses. I got multiple trusts. My wife got multiple trusts. My kids got the same thing I got. They all got the same things, y'all. If I leave this planet right here on this live for the next 1,000 years, everybody in my bloodline gonna have a head start on life. How can I say that so boldly? Easy. Think. If I leave this planet right now on this live, that $10 million whole life insurance policy, the beneficiary is the trust. The trust getting that $10 million. Not my wife, not my kids. They don't need no money. They got the same thing I got. When that $10 million get to the trust, remember, the trust don't need no cash. Guess what's going to happen? The trust is already being directed to take a portion of the land. Let's call of the 242 and a half acres of land. Let's say 42 and a half acres of land. The trust take the money out and it takes $5 million and build a nice little apartment complex. It don't need 41 acres. It can take up 10 acres and build a nice little apartment for $5 million. Go build an apartment for $5 million. The property manager that's going to be over it is going to conduct the business. The renters that are going to be in there, who they going to be paying back? It ain't no mortgage. It's coming back to the trust. So that means the upkeep on the property going to get his pay. The property manager, the whole team going to get his pay. And that money going to come back into the trust. Remember what I told y'all, the trust don't need no money. It still got the other $5 million over here. So with that other $5 million, guess what they're going to do? They're going to spend $5 million on land. For who? For my great grandchildren who I ain't never going to meet. Every tree on my land, how many acres is 242 and a half acres of land right now today, I know which person in my bloodline is going to feed. I hope y'all catching this. So $5 million just went and bought a whole bunch of land for the great grandkids, right? This $5 million coming back in. The wife don't need no money. She's straight. The kids don't need no money. They straight. So what's happening with that other $5 million that's coming in? Because the trust don't need no money either. The first grandbaby that's born, and I'm a grandpa as of The 11th of this month, I became a grandpa. Loving it. And seeing this stuff happen full circle, y'all, is like, y'all don't understand how wild this stuff is to me, y'all. When the grandbaby is born, guess what's happening, y'all? That grandbaby getting the biggest whole life insurance policy that the trust can afford. So as those tenants paying this rent that's coming back to the trust is paying for the grandbaby life insurance policy. Well, if the trust is paying for the grandbaby life insurance policy, that ain't all the money. You said the trust don't need no money. What else gonna happen with the rest of the money? You said your wife don't need no money. You said your kids don't need no money. What's gonna happen with the rest of the money? These grandbabies, y'all, they instantly gonna become trust fund babies. They get a stipend every single year. So the trust is paying for their policy. The trust is giving them a stipend every single year. What the hell an infant gonna do with money? What is an infant gonna do with money? That infant parent is straight. My kids. That infant grandmama is straight. My wife. What they gonna do with their money? Buy more land for the great 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 grandkids that ain't none of us gonna meet. Uh-oh. What's gonna happen when my wife passed? $10 million going into her trust? The same thing. This is how you create wealth for hundreds and hundreds of years. I hear people talking about going to get a bag. How much money go in that bag? $10,000? Can you fit 100,000 in that bag? You're in between blessings and you don't even know it. I see you on your Hellcat chiefing. I know you can't get no $10 million life insurance policy, not whole life. Not chiefing. Not always sipping. Not with that insulin belly. Uh-oh. I ain't gonna have that conversation though. I don't want no smoke. Land, people. Why? Everything goes back to the dirt. What you had for dinner today came from somebody's land. When you went to the grocery store and you got that meal, or you went to your restaurant and got your food, it came from somebody's land. The clothes on your back came from somebody's land. The water bottle that you drinking, that came from some mountain, came from somebody's land. The shelter that's over your head is from a landowner, people. Everything goes back to the dirt, including you. I've been on here now for almost 3 hours, y'all. I can't even believe it. And I only been on here for 3 hours because I ain't been on here for almost a little bit over a week now. Took some time. Here comes the sale pitch. Because I know y'all waiting on the sale pitch. Let me give y'all the sale pitch. Because I know you got to be selling me something. You been on here for 3 hours. You ain't been sold nothing yet. You ain't convinced? You still waiting on the shoe to drop. So let me go ahead and sell y'all something. Zabo103. Follow me on all these platforms, y'all. Period. Instagram, Zabo103. TikTok, Zabo103. YouTube, Zabo103. Facebook, Zabian Gibson. Go to these platforms, like, share, comment, subscribe, whatever you got to do over there. They say all this stuff you got to do. Make that stuff happen. That ain't the sale pitch. Here comes the sale pitch. If you are excited about what you heard, don't jump off the porch yet. Because here's something that I want you to really understand. Motivation and manipulation is on the same coin. I'm going to say that again. Motivation and manipulation is on the same coin. Hope y'all catching this stuff. If I need you to do something and all I need to do is to motivate you, I'm absolutely going to motivate you. You ain't even got to guess. That's the truth. If I need you to do something and I can't motivate you to do it, it's a green light to manipulate you. That's life. You got to understand that. So before you jump off the porch right now, what I need you to do is whatever you got excited about on this live, go research it. Go research it. Go research it. If you find out what I said on this live after you do research, man, that ain't true. That ain't real. Don't come back to my live talking about that. I don't want to hear that. But if you find out that it's true, apply it in your life. I promise you, your future self will thank you. In the meantime, boys and girls, look, y'all be good. I have fun being bad. And I'll see y'all on the other side of the sun. Peace.